Hello, everybody, and welcome to X-Smarks the Spot with me, your host, Richter Hammer. A little bit removed, still same day, though, of the Money in the Bank special / pay-per-view / please subscribe to our WWE network for $9.99 a month. I have another name for it, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Because what jackass would pay $50 for this? Come on.
Is it actually available? Wait, because this was like a proper. Wait, this one was a pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, this one was an actual.
Okay.
This wasn't an elimination chamber that
the other
they
one
pulled
was,
out of their ass at the last minute. This was an actual pay-per-view.
Oh my god!
But they
if I
pulled
paid
out their
50
asses
for
at the
this
last
thing.
minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever thought we would come to the days of having to ask, wait, this was an actual pay-per-view, wasn't it?
It was 2 weeks from the last one. Then while I was talking, my brain's like, no, the last one was the other one. I'm like, oh yeah, this was the proper pay. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. Oh man, if I had paid 50 for this, I'd be crying. Anyway,
Yeah.
Which the cruelly ironic thing about that is, Cena Owens match aside, that one was the better pay-per-view.
I disagree with that. I actually preferred Money in the Bank.
I actually preferred the other one, but fair enough.
Because, like I said, with Elimination Chamber, I felt no build-up, and after the Cena-Owens match, the rest of the card just felt like, we're getting through this because we have to.
Fair enough.
alrighty.
Fair enough. Anyway, did you want to introduce this, Richter?
Yes. So joining me as per usual is Chriz the Mole,
Hello.
Mr. Marcus Shadow,
Good evening.
and James Phoenix.
Salutations.
So first, I guess we'll go through our awards, then promo and match of the week, and then the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So first award, why don't you take it away, Marcus?
All right. So first, we're doing 2 awards, yes?
We'll do one at a time. but
Yeah,
we'll do
just making sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So my first award, I call it "Screw You Guys, I'm Going Home," and that goes to Seth Rollins accepting Dean Ambrose's rematch for Money in the Bank and telling the Authority to fuck the hell off. He was like, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, and I don't need you, screw you all, and he literally gets out the ring and walks off, leaving the Authority in the ring with Dean Ambrose. He's like, I'm doing this by myself. So he literally went Cartman on them. I was like, that was kind of cool. He's got some balls now. I like this.
No. If he was gonna go Cartman on the Authority, he would have made them eat Stephanie and Triple H.
No, if he was going to go Cartman, he would have crawled onto Kane's back and gone, meow, meow, all cutesy, so Kane gave in to him and let him control the monster.
That too.
Mm-hmm. Although,
I would pay to see that.
I did love that moment, and I thought it was awesome. It was kind of almost partially rendered, like...
It was rendered? This is a video game?
It was rendered not true, and I don't know if anyone else is going to bring this up. If they were, I apologize, but because at the end of the night, because he has the match, and when he comes out with fucking Kane and J&J. I'm like, did you just get through telling them at the top of the show, I don't fucking need you guys? You told them basically all to fuck off, and they come out anyway.
Can I make a point here?
Yeah.
They kind of had shut up. Because unless my mind is not functioning when he came out, didn't he have to come out with J&J? Because wasn't he wrestling J&J?
Yeah, he was.
All right, but he came out with like Kane though. Good point. He was wrestling J&J, but he came out with like.
No,
like
he didn't come out with Kane. Kane was in J&J's corner. You need to pay attention. Kane specifically got in Seth Rollins' face backstage and said, "Well, you're going to be a cocky ass, Seth Rollins, and guess what? I'm going to be in J&J's corner tonight, and it's going to be my honor to watch them kick your ass," or something to that effect.
Oh, these awards from a different meaning because I remember that leading up to another match where he came out and they like came out with him. I'm like, the fuck?
That might be the last. That might be the week before last, if that makes sense.
It might be. If that's again,
I believe he'd been teasing that he didn't need the Authority for a couple of weeks, and now he seems to this week gone off on his own.
Yeah,
prove he doesn't need them.
I recall several months ago he told Randy Orton he needed the Authority, and they proceeded to leave him one by one over the night, only for them all to be in the ring at the end of the night with him.
Well, maybe that was 2 weeks ago, and then because I didn't catch a lot of Raw, but And I don't think I was in the last X-Marks, so it's possible this was a holdover from the other one because I never gave my awards from the other one, so my bad. In which case, I have nothing for this week because I didn't catch much of it. Because I had to work that day. I actually came home late that night.
Fair enough.
Unless you want me to give the awards from the week that I missed.
Maybe? I don't know. Well,
guys.
we'll see when you get to your other one, because maybe it wasn't. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you might as well give the other award you have when we get
But yeah, I just thought that was kind of counterintuitive, where he's just like, I'm going to accept the match so I can prove to you that I can do this on my own. I don't need any of you guys. Fuck you all. And then he comes out at the end because he's the main event, and they all fucking come out with him. I'm like, wait a minute. So much for not needing them. But you are right, Jim. That's right. He did fight J&J this week, which was funny.
All right. So, your first award, Jim.
Okay. Well, of course, I also missed the beginning of Raw, so I don't have any awards for the earlier portion of Raw, but this isn't going to work out because thank God I got home right when I did. Because I literally, I turned the TV on, like, the minute I turned the TV on and realized what was happening, I said, I get an award. This award is called The Truth Hurts.
Hey?
The hell? You right there, Marcus? You're cut off in the middle of your heh.
Really?
No,
All I said was hair.
Oh, I thought you said, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's called The Truth Hurts. For R-Truth coming out during the Everybody in the Money in the Bank match comes out and says they're going to win promo, only to be informed by Kane that he is not actually in the match. and to then immediately be very confused by this, and then be very embarrassed and apologize to everybody, and then leave.
Shouldn't you have named the award? Ah, yes, the truth can hurt, to get people ready for Summer of Disney.
Nice. Thank you, Mo. That was a good call.
All right. That sounds funny.
It was hilarious. Because I came in right as he was on the stage. He was talking about, last year I overcame my fear of ladders. And this year, in the Money in the Bank match, and literally Kane goes up and goes, what the hell are you talking about? You're not even in the match.
Yep.
I'm not? No,
Yeah.
You're not. Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm so sorry. I'm leaving now. Okay, bye. He just leaves.
Yeah, that was hilarious, and you see Roman Reigns and stuff just cracking up, looking at each other like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, you lost. We've actually got someone who comes out and cuts a promo by mistake.
Yeah.
So, he's the Hogan of promos?
Yeah, he showed up in a promo he wasn't scheduled to be in.
The true essence of Hulkamania is running wild.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we get to Money in the Bank, we have yet someone else who's been affected by the true essence of Hulkamania.
All right.
We'll get to that.
Indeed. Back to Hammy.
All right. Mole, your first award?
My first award, just because I felt we needed to mention this. I haven't given it a title because I didn't want to. I've named it just simply R.I.P. Dusty Rhodes. Which, that was a shame when we found out Dusty Rhodes had passed. And Goldust mentioned on, it was either Twitter or Facebook or something like that, where he gave an official statement. He mentioned Dusty passed away with all his kids around him and his grandkids and his family and stuff. I'm like, that's kind of sweet.
It is.
I like Dusty.
He was a cool guy.
Indeed.
Sad
He
to
will
see
be
him
missed. And of course, the big question on the WWE horizon is, does that mean we're going to have the return of Cody Rhodes?
We might do.
The son of a plumber.
Yep.
All right. So my first award. Oh, yeah.
I just want, eventually, I want WWE to actually have the son of Devon debut into WWE as a character.
Son of Diva.
Well, I just really want a WWE superstar who can come out as son of a preacher, man.
Ha!
Thank you.
Oh, testify!
But back to Hammy.
All right.
He goes out, Batista just comes out of nowhere and smashes him with the collection box. Like, no, we don't do that anymore.
Insert lazy Guardians joke. Back to
Exactly.
I'm sorry, it's way too easy whenever anyone mentions Batista just say Guardians. It's like,
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, come on, you also beat up Superman on Smallville. No one mentions that.
He also
True, I
shot
think-
at somebody with a gun that was way too small for his frame in, what was it, Bad Side of Town, the movie with Rob Van Dam, or anyway, nobody even... I only saw the trailer for it. I haven't seen the movie yet, but...
I think I remember that because wasn't the gun he was holding? Wasn't it like a little submachine gun or something?
Yeah, and it just looks so tiny in his hand. It looked like
It
a
did.
child gun. It was like with a toy gun. It was because he said his like witty one-liner for the trailer and then held it up and it just looks so sad. I'm like, dude, can't you get like a Batista size gun or something? Like when you look at whatever that G.I. Joe 2, where like The Rock has that like giant gun, and you see Batista with this like little tiny. You're just like, dude, come on.
See, when you
Yeah,
say
it's-
that, I'm just thinking the cricket from Men in Black.
Yeah, that's what
across the room.
It
I was
might
about to
as
say,
well have been that size.
it's like the
Yeah.
cricket in Will Smith's hands, except the difference is when Will Smith pulled the trigger on the cricket, you were like, okay, that works. But Batista using just a regular submachine gun, you're like, that's
Yeah.
kind of pathetic, dude.
If he was like holding two or holding it with one hand, it'd be fine. But he held it with
Yeah.
two, and it just looked really silly.
Didn't he like pull it up like he was trying to aim, so he was like hunched over trying to
Yeah.
look at it?
Okay.
Oh.
No one will get this. It looked like the time that a guy I used to work with had the Kamen Rider Fies, like the blaster.
Yeah.
It looked like me holding the blaster. Like one of the guys remarked, he's like, "You can hold that one-handed." I'm like, "I know this is kind of small." But like if I held it with two hands, it looks silly. Like it's not too big for it. So I can hold it one-handed. It looks perfectly fine. If I try to hold it like he does, it makes
Yeah.
me look gigantic.
Yeah.
Rick's our big fig.
Yay.
Yes.
Yes.
But okay, my first award, I call it Hammer Time from NXT, where Mojo Rawley in his tag match yells out, "It's Hammer Time!" and then does this really weird dance, and then just does like a sitting fist drop to his opponent. And I was like, "Oh, good." You know, like it's stupid, but I like stuff like that where it looks like they're really silly. It's just like, at one point in the match, just do something goofy, kind of like the worm and like the people's elbow, where it's a really basic move, but you just do something really goofy in front of it, and it somehow makes it way better.
Oh,
So we
I
need
mean,
a cool shuffle.
admit it, you just won
Yes.
that in the game. You just won that in the game so you can yell Hammer Time before you hit someone with a move.
I want that in the game so there could be a match where he yells Hammer Time, and then as Wade Barrett, I immediately bullhammer him in the face.
You get a trophy.
Exactly.
Well, Rick the Hammer has a front row ticket.
Can I stand up and point at it too?
Yeah.
I love the animation, and it's probably still there.
Which honor related note, because I'm thinking of to get this an award. Can somebody explain to me why Dean Ambrose needed a ticket on Monday?
Was he banned from the arena?
Did they ban him? I don't know. All I know is that he had a ticket and he came out with some popcorn and soda and shit. And I'm like, technically you're employed here. I don't think you actually need the ticket. You're not suspended or anything that I know of, unless I missed something at the top of the show.
I believe he may have been banned from the building.
Which is ironic because you would think the authority would want him in the building so he could get Seth's goddamn title back.
Yeah, but they were punishing Seth with matches like J&J.
True.
They didn't want to risk a lunatic fringe interfering in them.
And technically, no, they weren't punishing. He chose J&J because he got to choose his opponent, and he chose to fight J&J so he could prove that he could beat them on his own and he didn't need them.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to
But
him.
the fact he had to have a match was punishment.
Fair enough.
I like the idea. He's like, I could beat these two guys. That proves I don't need them. Be like, can you picture that like in an RPG/MMO setting? Like, I can kill the healer, so we don't need him. Everyone just goes the fuck and just bans him from the group. Like, no, that's not how that works.
If that was the case, no one would have any fucking Pokemon.
Or even if they did, everything except that Krabby that Ash beat with a stick.
See, Richter, that would have worked if he'd actually won. He lost.
However, it still works with Richter's logic of that's how people, with the logic of the idea behind it. If I can beat you,
Yes.
therefore I never need to team with you ever.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Which is funny because that would be like if you did that in 2K15, your entire universe mode would just be John Cena
Yeah.
and Hulk Hogan probably.
He's in every match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I also noted here that move annoyed Corey Graves, so that I also got bonus points for that.
Yeah. Nice.
If it annoys my rival, then I'm okay with that.
You're just upset because you were going to have a spin-off show at the X-Pound called Culture Shock.
No.
I like to believe I was going to be a thing.
At one point on NXT, he said something about nerds. I'm like, you're the one with the show called Culture Shock where you went to Marvel. Shut the hell up. Like, God, you need one more concussion, dude. Seriously.
If it helps, if you saw the one where he went to Star Wars, he's a Jar Jar fan, apparently.
I believe it. And no, I wouldn't see it. I don't want to. I'd pay a total every month of $10.49, 50 cents extra if I could not have him on the commentary team. That'd help.
You at least need to see the one where he visited his favourite tattoo shop.
No, I'm good.
Fair enough.
Also, him either visit his favorite tattoo shop or visit Marvel again, as long as one of those places has CM Punk and he GTS's him.
Why would CM Punk be there when he visited Marvel? It was mail for.
Oh, true.
And they talked about all the great Thor writers, and they never once mentioned Punk.
Except didn't Punk write for male Thor, not female Thor?
Technically, he wrote for both because it was in the annual with both, and they clearly went out their way to not do current Thor and to only talk about Thor's past and how all the great people and not mention Punk.
Yeah,
Fair
pretty
enough.
much.
I was like, that's just wow.
Yeah.
That's
Corey
literally
Graves
going.
sticker.
Yeah, that's literally going into someone else's work to then rebury them. There's no
Yeah.
need.
Yep.
Yeah, leave that to Hogan.
Yeah.
All right, so
That'll be like WWE people showing up at UFC to bury Brock Lesnar. Oh, wait.
Isn't it Valentine's Day on Sunday?
No, that's in February.
Yeah, but it's at least Hogan's Valentine's Day. Thank you. We got to another joke about him doing his daughter.
Nice. Nice.
We like to keep things PG here.
Oh, I could reference that in another award if I changed my second award right now. I don't know.
Yeah, but you have to give Rick the time to turn it over to Marcus for an old award so Marcus can talk about the finger poke of doom.
wow.
Oh my god, I didn't think Hulk Hogan would ever slam Andre the Giant.
All right, so Marcus, your second word.
Second award from 2 weeks past. I call it the Baskin and Robbins Award. It goes to Big Show's Sonic audition because I thought that was hilarious. He goes, "It's like, how many flavors do you have? 25. 25, huh? I'm gonna need one of each. What? I'm a method actor." I thought that was awesome.
Actually, and in relation to that, I will give props because I will say, watching all those little vignettes, I will say that is the one instance in the promotion of Sonic Blast that I can, in all good faith and in all honesty, say the words, "The New Day was the best." Sonic Blast. Sonic Blast.
New Day was.
And
They
if I
were all
could-
pretty funny, but
I think when Biggie comes out, he's got this, freaking I think it was Xavier Kofi. One of them came out first, like, oh, it's this strawberry cheesecake blast, because I'm like, no, it's a peanut butter blast. And they get an argument like, no, all the blasts are good. The power of positivity, Sonic Blast, or whatever. And it was funny because they kept doing this thing where they kept, and then the other funny thing was they kept having the mega powers, and they would give it like take mega powers, take 76. The mega powers kept screwing it up and being like, oh wait, that's like saying catchphrases. They're getting blasted instead of actually promoting the things.
oh, no, they were trying to get the Mega Powers to do the handshake
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, because they kept saying we want to see the Mega Powers handshake, and they'd go to start doing it, and Macho Manda would have his hand up like Macho Man is like getting ready to do it, but then they'd take a sip of the Sonic Blast, and they would just sit there and savor the Sonic Blast instead of actually doing the handshake.
Gotcha.
I need
Fair
another one, brother. This is good stuff. And they kept saying stuff like that. I was just like, wow. And then I love the guy who played the director because he was like, it's like Mega Powers take 75. He'd just be like, just do the handshake, please. Like, all right. Ooh, yeah, this is good. Do the damned handshake. Like the dude was just getting exaggerated. He played it off nicely.
He did.
And I wasn't for the record. Those are all totally legitimate. I had a strawberry Sonic milkshake blast last night. It was delicious. Sonic does have a really good milkshake blast.
Sure.
If you have a Sonic in your area, I encourage you to go get one. They're half price after 8 p.m. all summer long.
Somewhere Richter is crying.
Yeah.
If it's not followed by the word a hedgehog, I don't care.
Ah.
Yeah, I liked big shows. This is like the what? I'm a method actor.
That was good.
All right, so Jim, your second award.
I'm debating. It's like, do I go with the one I had written, or do I go with the one that the other one that I had considered, but I could reference whatever we were talking about before. I don't remember what it was now.
Read
What are we
your
talking
backwards and banish yourself.
Ah.
Just pick one and go with it.
No, I'm trying to remember what we were talking about before that round because I can't remember what the other award was, and I really wanted to use it, but I can't remember what we were talking about that inspired me to mention that. What were we saying?
So go to the other one then.
I believe we talked about Richter and a Speedo.
No.
When are we not?
Yeah, we always talk about that. That's not new.
That's been in multiple recordings.
It has.
Goofle Hangouts canon.
What the hell? Oh, what the hell was it I was going to give based on that? What were we talking about that I was going to mention that? Before the blast thing. What was the one before that?
Before that was Richter's award.
And Richter, what was your award?
Mine was it's Corey Graves.
Oh yeah, you were talking about Hammer. Oh yeah, we were talking about Motor Rally, Hammer Time, and the Marvel. I was like, what the hell was it? I don't remember what the hell it was, but I'll go with the one I had written down. I called it You Still Got It. I gave it to Noble and Mercury for still looking better than half the existing roster in the ring.
I'm so disappointed. I wanted Noble to best out the trailer hitch, goddammit. I like that move. That's an awesome move. It takes way too long to set up, but it's an awesome move.
I was impressed that Mercury still had that level of agility. He was like flipping around and everything else.
Yeah, I imagine when they're backstage, they're going to work as trainers as well.
True.
I also love that Mercury finally said something, and when he did,
Yeah,
he was
that
like,
was cool.
completely pissed off. I was like, wow.
And the funny thing is, he said it. He was pissed off, and it was a better promo than anything Jamie Noble has ever said.
Yep. Well, I don't think they made Jamie Noble the mouthpiece because he's better. I think they did it because Joey Mercury is fucking hilarious as the silent partner.
That too.
And to be fair, the Jamie Noble's awesome on the mic. He has one of those voices where it's just everything he says hilarious.
True.
And not just because of his accent; it's just the way he says stuff.
He's Ellis from Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh. I kind of remembered the thing I was going to mention, I think.
Oh.
But, not an official award, but for those who are unaware, my favorite wrestler, Chris Jericho, has returned to the WWE live shows. He will not be on TV, but he's wrestling live shows on the tour for WWE. He has cool new outfits, as Y2J 2015 on it. Anyway, I was going to mention, the thing I was going to reference is we mentioned, we were talking earlier, we have made a couple of references tonight to the, one of which was actually before we went on the air, I think, we made a couple of references to the PG rating. And it's funny because Jericho, he came out, and I guess it was a highlight reel. It said highlight reel on the Tron, even though he didn't have the set. But he basically started cutting what was a pretty, not a top Jericho level, but a par for the course promo on the Authority. The Authority is sucking, they're in charge. Triple H has a huge nose, the usuals. And of course, he busted out the Stephanie line, the no good, bottom feeding, trash bag, and the audience said ho. And Jericho pulled the mic back in and he goes, "Thank you. Now that we're PG, I can't say that word anymore. They won't let me."
Yep, that's why my Thundercats DVDs are heavily edited.
Exactly.
Thundercats.
Beep.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was actually the reference I was going to make to that, but it was something involving the Jericho thing. But either way, honorable mention to Jericho for being back and putting people up. I mean, I feel sorry for Jericho because at the end of this promo he got cut off, and apparently he had to wrestle Luke Harper. But what you gonna do?
Poor Luke Harper, reduced to fighting for fucking a musician.
Back to Hemi.
All right. So, Mole, your second word?
My second word, I called it hashtag give divas a list. That was for the new video on WWE.
Hey, that's my job.
Yeah, that was for a new video on WWE Network called WWE List, and this one was the trendiest divas. It was fucking weird. Like, who liked Countdown?
I thought Countdown was good.
Yeah, we went like 10, 9, it builds up, and you're like, yay. Yeah. This wasn't. This was literally just a list of divas who were in the company. In no order, and they were just randomly saying stuff about them. It was weird. It was fun to watch, but it was weird. It was just like, yeah, oh yeah, AJ, and oh yeah, the Bella twins, and oh yeah, these, and oh yeah, this. I mean, at the end, it's like, people wanted us to include Stephanie, but we couldn't, so here's a montage of her slapping people. I'm like, I don't get this. There's like no order to this at all. It's like a list that's just literally just write down every diva that's on there in the order you remember them.
And how does that make sense? People want us to include Stephanie, and we couldn't, so we're including Stephanie. Here, have fun.
Yeah, but they were like, we couldn't include Stephanie as a proper mention, so people wouldn't talk about her. It was just a montage of her being slapping people, and that was it. Whereas the others, like, they'd be like the Bellas, and then people discussing the Bellas. But like I said, it was really half-assed. I recommend people watch it just because it's weird. But yeah, I gave it to that. Back to Rick.
All right. This next award I call Pile of Bull from NXT, where they finally gave Bull Dempsey personality throughout the night. Okay, 2 instances, but hey, that's 2 more than usual. Where he had a match against Tyler Breeze, and at one point Tyler Breeze gets out and starts running around the ring, and Bull's chasing him, and Bull's, doesn't look like he's in great shape, at least running shape. And he's running after him, and then he's like stops, and he's like holding his side, and like wheezing, and the audience starts chanting cardio at him. And this is pretty funny, him getting winded. And then later backstage, Regal calls him in, and he's like munching down on some Doritos, and Regal's just looking at him, talking to him. He's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Oh yeah, you talking about out there? No, it's fine. I was just I was staying up late last night. Because I was working out so much yesterday. It won't happen again." And Regal's just like gets all disgusted, grabs the bag and walks off. And Bull just kind of watches, like shrugs, reaches into his tights, pulls out like an open Hershey bar, starts eating that, and walks off. And it's just really funny. I was like, wow, like. Like, okay, your other gimmick was fine. Now you're just gonna have personality. And I'm like, hey, I like this because it was humorous and it, played up some stereotypes, but it was pretty humorous, so I liked it.
Nice.
And I said humorous twice, anyway.
But there was 2.
There was.
So for each one was hilarious.
It was humorous. Anyway. Yeah.
It works out as well, Rick, according to my calculations, as 1 element of personality every half hour.
Personality calculator.
Which is a lot more than Triple H has shown in a 20-minute promo.
That is true. Fact.
I went to do it with Lance Storm, and it was just like Farmer with a shotgun level.
Oh, man. Good old poor Lance Storm.
I liked Lance Storm.
Yeah, he was solid, but yeah, he was he was a cardboard cutout that could wrestle.
Yep.
Yeah, I did.
I'm sure the camera turns off and he's just like does backflips and he's like he's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And he's like, like everything everybody loves him. Turn on the camera, he's just boom, hi, turns into Festus or whatever.
He's camera shy.
Yeah, there you go.
Richter, I'm actually surprised you didn't give an award to Samoa Joe.
For wrestling?
Yeah, for his, I don't know. Because the image I see of him, it looks like he's about to do the Kaniku Buster.
He did do it.
How did you not give an award to your move, dude?
Did
He
you
still has-
see? Did you
He
see
still
that
has
match?
Yeah,
No.
he has match and promo tonight to go.
No, they had a guest commentator for that match.
Mm-hmm.
That automatically makes me dislike it. So
Was it
Fair
Corey Graves?
enough.
it was for you.
Was it Corey Graves? No.
He was definitely there too. But
No. I didn't see who the guest one was. I
Who
haven't
was the
seen
guest
it.
commentator?
I'll give you a hint. Somebody that's feuding with Samoa Joe in between feuding with Cena.
Oh,
His
fair
belt.
enough.
Okay.
Everyone's favorite but me.
His belt.
His belt, yes.
Mhm.
The hemline of his pants, yes.
Dixie Carter.
Maybe. I keep forgetting she's there. Like I keep thinking that they got rid of her, and then I hear like she's still there and in charge. I'm like, oh, okay.
She's there, Stephanie.
She,
Yeah.
yeah, she is.
I actually prefer our Stephanie.
I do too.
Though I did
Mhm.
prefer Karen Angle. Or Karen
Yeah.
Jarrett. Whichever one you're going to go with. But I did actually prefer her. I thought she was kind of cool in the role.
Yeah, so let's support people that scar children for life.
Well, I do. That's why I always visit sadgamer.com.
There you go.
Ah, nice.
That's what Rick did.
That's what Rick do.
It's called raising them. That's you have to.
Exactly.
Everyone's scarred for life. You just make sure
Exactly.
it's you instead of other people.
Yeah.
All right, so match and promo of the week. Take it away, Marcus.
Okay. Well, not counting the pay-per-view. I don't have a promo. The match for that Raw, I gave to Reigns versus Barrett for the Money in the Bank spot. Or Reigns wins. That was actually a really good match. Like that match.
Nice.
All right, so Jim, your match and promo.
I do not actually have a promo. But in retrospect, give it to Chris Jericho for cutting a promo. What the hell? If I'd have thought about that, I would have saved it. But match, give it to Sheamus versus Orton. That was a pretty physical match. It was good back and forth. I like that.
And I will say to the people listening, BRB for 1 sec.
But yeah, give it to Sheamus versus Orton because they beat the crap out of each other. That was a good physical matchup. Nice back and forth.
Nice.
I like to see that.
Okay. Then I will go while waiting for Mole.
Mhm.
My promo of the week, I gave it to Endzone Cass and Carmella. Their promo against Alexa and the Sweet Boys. Also, I don't know why it took so many weeks for me to be like, oh, that's what I should call Wes or Blake and Murphy. Just call them Sweet Boy. I'll just take their name. Boom. They have a tag team name now. It's easier to remember.
What is their name?
The Sweet Boys. That's what I'm gonna call them because that's what Endzone Cass call them.
Sure, Sweet Boy, go with it.
Yeah.
Although, can I take a wild guess? I bet I can recite. I bet without having seen it, I bet I can recite the first 8 lines of Enzo's promo.
I bet you could. He's like, I know not everyone here likes him, but I'll give him that. Like, he cuts some pretty good promos because I don't see him like stumble over his words. He says weird stuff, and I don't even know half the time what he's thinking. He'll just like say stuff like comparing him to Geico or something. I don't even know what the hell. Like, I'm like, this half of it doesn't make sense, but he's really confident about it. He's not like, you guys are like Geico or something. He's like, yeah, you guys like Geico. I'm gonna throw you outside like the lizard. And you're just like, I don't know what that means. It's like Ultimate Warrior. He's got that conviction. And
Exactly,
You're not quite
yeah.
sure what he's thinking, but you know what? You believe it.
So Enzo has been blessed with the power of Destrucity?
Apparently, yes. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with that.
Yeah, I just remember he's from New Jersey. Nobody knows what they're thinking.
That's true. Got to translate for him.
That's why he has big cast because he needs a New Yorker there that could be basically superior in most ways except for the language and basically the counteraction.
There you go.
I will say I'm back. For anyone listening, that was just a real life family thing because it's like 6 a.m. here.
Not a problem. And well, once I go through my match, then it'll be your turn. I stole your spot.
It's cool. It's cool. I heard you. You were talking.
Oh, okay.
You were talking about the New Jersey thing. Well, I heard parts of it.
That's fine. And my match of the week was on NXT, of course, obviously. And I just said, of course, obviously. Anyway, Becky Lynch versus Jessie. I know it's weird because I don't know where they keep getting like a diva local talent, but it's cool. Also, it just made me laugh because she didn't even get a last name. Even that dude that was it Rhino squished that guy, like Elias Sampson, where like I didn't figure out his name until afterwards, and now he's there, and now they don't even give him last names. They're just like, you're Jesse, okay. Or Green.
Just like the main roster.
There you go. Yeah, she's gonna move up then.
No. On the main roster, it's the other way around. On the main roster, they hate first names, so they give them all last names. No, you're Cesaro. No, you're Neville.
Yeah, but I was just on about so they just have one name.
Yeah. Maybe her last name is Jessie. Well, it is if she moves up. They'll change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes his first name works, like Sheamus. You know.
Go.
Does that mean Triple H is going to officially change his ring name to Hunter or Helmsley?
No, his ring name will just be H.
Which I will say, just because I actually watched Sheamus on the independent stuff, I totally love the name of Sheamus O'Shaughnessy.
Is that what he was going by?
Yes, that was an awesome name. He fought at one point a Muppet turkey.
He fought the gobbledygooker?
No, an actual Muppet one, not like a guy in a suit. It was on a breakfast show. It was awesome.
Okay, then.
He probably had to get revenge. That turkey probably pissed off his cousin Beaker.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Richter doesn't even know what show he's on anymore.
I'm sorry, Rick.
It's like, wow, someone saw Sheamus before? Okay.
I did because he used to wrestle in Ireland, so some of that stuff got cross-promoted over here on like breakfast shows on like BBC Ireland, and a friend of mine who lives over there sent me some of the matches and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
I thought you guys hated the Irish.
I'm related to some of the Irish.
Okay.
Yeah, he said multiple times he's part Irish, dude.
Okay, I always thought the English didn't like the Irish. Or is it the other way around?
No, we like the Irish. We don't like the Welsh.
Well, I know you don't like the Welsh, but I thought there was a thing with the Irish too, or is it that they don't like you?
No, we settled all that. We seem to like each other more now.
Okay, fair enough. We'll just agree to help. We'll just agree to hate the Welsh. And moving on.
They settled it in the children's trading card game.
On motorcycles!
Yeah, we settled it. We settled it because we sent our best turkey.
Sheamus beat it up.
Exactly.
Nice.
Are you not entertained? Sorry, I had to.
But yeah, it was a pretty good match. There was some. The only thing I guess I'll mention was Becky Lynch did some weird like stretch behind her back into like a drop. Like she was like had her curled around her back, and it looked like a submission hold, like a very strange one, and then just turned it into like a drop, and then put the armbar on her. And I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that move was. Like you remember the first time Batista did the air raid siren, whatever they call it in the game, where he was like screwing something up, he just kind of grabbed him, and you're like, oh, I don't know what that move is. It reminds me of that, where it's just like they're starting to do something, you're like, oh, I don't know what they're doing, and then they do it, and you're like, I don't know what that is.
Sounds like a reverse abdominal stretch slam. I don't know.
Kinda, yeah. It's just it was really weird.
I believe the correct term would be modified. Everything Jim just said.
True.
That's vintage Becky Lynch. All right, so Mole, your match and promo of the week.
Technically, they're the same thing, but they do blend in together brilliantly.
Okay.
I wrote the promo out first, then I wrote the match out, which came straight afterwards. Cena comes out and he talks about how sometimes matches are better than if there's actually titles involved, like The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, And he mentions a few of them, like the Money in the Bank one. I'm like, well, technically that's for a title-ish, because that's going to get you the title. Let's forget that. And part of me's like, wait, you mentioned The Rock Hogan, but not you v. The Rock? Okay.
Well, of course not, because they clearly showed the following year that no, he needed the title to be better.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what? But anyway, he mentions that. Then Kevin Owens comes out, and he calls Cena delusional. He's like, you're just delusional. You're not going to be able to beat me. And he's like, I mean, you think that you can come out here at the top of the show and start talking like in your delusional ways? Listen to this crowd. People have seen you come out at the start of Raw for 10 years. They're tired of it, and the crowd actually cheered. And then he did an open. I mean, Owens mentioned he's going to do an open challenge instead of Cena for the NXT title. Then Cena mentioned to him, okay, I agree. An open challenge for the NXT title for you would be brilliant. Anyone could step up and face you. And Owens is like, yeah. He goes, I accept. And Owens is like, no. And Cena's like, what? And Cena's like, aren't you the one delusional when you're like, an open challenge for absolutely anyone? No, not you. And Owens is like, yeah, but I'm going to fight you on Sunday. I don't need to fight you right now. I've already got a fight with you. I just want to fight someone new. And eventually, after back and forth, they agree, fine. The next person who comes out, they can choose which title they have an open challenge for. And that leads into the match because Neville comes out. And Neville mentions, well, the US Championship does mean a lot, and he would like that title. He challenges Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens is ruining the well, I don't know what you'd call it, like history or prestige or whatever he says, of the title that he held so dear for so long. So as the longest reigning NXT champion, he's going to end Kevin Owens' reign. And Cena gets on commentary. And that leads into the match at night, which was Kevin Owens v Neville. Kevin Owens wins, obviously, for people who've seen this event, because he came out with his title, but it was still a pretty damn awesome match. I mean, you had bits like, yeah, Neville was trying to go for his red arrow again. It seemed like they were building up like a typical Neville thing, but boom, Owens managed to overcome. Yay. And I was like, that's a pretty cool match. It was solid. Cena was funny on the commentary, and he seemed, serious on the commentary too. The promo at the beginning was good. So I was like, that's just a great way of starting the show. Props to Raw. It was all downhill from there, but it was props to Raw. So that takes us to Richter.
Isn't that Raw's motto? It's all downhill from here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so now we will move on to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I'll start with the pre-show. Oh, real quick, did anyone else have sound issues, or was that just me?
I had a issue during it, but it wasn't a sound issue. It turned out to be me dropping my Samus figure by mistake onto my control pad and hitting the R3 button by mistake.
I didn't notice any sound issues. At one point, there was a minor glitch. I backed out, and I hit starting to get caught up where I was. There was a moment where it replayed something for about 3 seconds, but I caught back up, and that was the only problem I had.
Okay.
I had no issues.
Oh, okay. Because when I was setting it up like a little early, like at the end of the pre-show, and I had like no audio, so I was like, "What?" I tried backing out, like going back in and stuff, and it didn't. I don't know. Like the pre-show just didn't want to do it. Eventually, a couple minutes in to the actual pay-per-view, and I hit like the now, so I don't know if it started a few minutes later or not, but I don't think it would have. But then it was fine, so I don't know.
Maybe it started a few minutes late because the sound was fucked up.
Maybe, I don't know, but I just
I didn't watch the pre-show, and it was like 8:04 by the time I turned the pay-per-view on, so I didn't see the Dusty Rhodes tribute, so I don't know.
Okay.
It went from pre-show straight into the main show.
Okay. Because it was like 5 after, and I hit now, and it was like had the message at the beginning of like any unauthorized whatever, we will come and kill you and stuff, and I was like, okay. I was like, shouldn't this have been like 5 minutes ago? So
sometimes on the network for some reason they seem to play that before like a lot of stuff. Like a couple of times when I went to watch the pre-show, I clicked now and it says, sorry, this is not on demand right now. You're gonna have to check back later. I'm not trying to watch it on demand. I'm trying to watch it now.
Well, like, yeah, there's like the first area was like what's on right now, and then there's like there was the one next to it of like it was the pay-per-view. So I tried to watch that at one point, and it's like this is not available for on demand yet. It will be available after it. I'm like, okay, so I moved over to the left one, and then it's like I just want sound. Like, I mean, sometimes I don't want sound, but I want to know it works. I want to be in control. I don't want to watch the whole thing mute. Like, if I want to mute something, that's different from it's just like, nah, it's a silent movie now, and I'm like, okay.
I will say that work amused me during it. It was during one of the matches, I think it was like near the end. As I sat down on my chair, I accidentally bumped into my unit here and knocked my Samus amiibo off. It hit my PS4 control pad and it put subtitles on. I read one of them to Marcus. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was hilarious because they accidentally put in the word "it" instead of "is," and I don't know why that just amused me. But yes, pre-show.
Yeah, but Richter, you have to realize that was your PS4 doing you a favor because you came in a little bit early and the pre-show was still on. So your PS4 detected this, said, "Uh-oh, the pre-show's still on. I better make sure the Richter doesn't have any sound until Corey Graves is sufficiently off the TV."
Nice. It's thinking. I know that was Dreamcast, but whatever. I was going to say, though, if I had no sound and the Vaudevillains came out, perfect. I would have left it and I would have noticed it for a few minutes.
That would have been amazing.
I said that, I mentioned they also said that at one point, with the PS3. Which it was like it's a console and it constantly thinks and adapts to how you play the game. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. And I remember believing that and being like, oh my god, when I buy the wrestling game, I'm going to have to constantly change my strategy because the computer's going to constantly be attacking me and not know what I'm doing. Oh. Okay. Well, maybe it'll be different when I play another game. Oh.
To be fair, in Power Stone, the Dreamcast did learn, and it was scary, and I hated it.
I always liked. I liked the driving game. Can't remember which one it was. Does learn based on DNA. I know that sounds weird. It's not like I actually have to send them DNA.
Forza, I think it was.
Oh, this wasn't Forza. This was on the PlayStation. Definitely on the PlayStation 1 point, but it might be in Forza 2. But it was driver DNA. And it read how you drove so that it could accurately predict so the cars could go to how you drove.
Because, I thought that's what they called it there. Driver DNA.
I broke the game.
Would you drive in circles?
Nope. I played the game how I play, where I'm bashing the cars and being ultra aggressive.
Right.
And it read all that, like how I cut corners and how I was all aggressive. Then I was playing while Crispy was here and I passed him the pad, who's used to driving games, so he did it perfectly round the course without crashing. Then after a couple of times, just alternating between those two, like crazy fucking doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and perfect driving. Like half the cars were like trying to bash, but like into the side of the walls. Another time, and sometimes the cars just like bashed him once, then drove perfectly, then sort of went to bash him, but missed, and it was like they don't know what to do. I've broken the intelligence. It's schizophrenic.
Wow.
But now some people are like, oh, that's just a glitch and it's bad. But I'm sorry, I based on how it happened, I just found it hilarious. I wasn't even complaining. I was like, I understand why this has happened, and it's hilarious.
Well, the shadow match or whatever they call it on Killer Instinct, it'll like learn if you teabag and stuff, and it'll go do that. So yeah, anything's possible.
Nice.
Also, it should. Although I do agree with it. If you tried to do one of those cancel 186 hit triple ultras, it will attempt to mimic that, which I think is awesome. But no, not teabag. Bad cloud, bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pre-show.
The only thing I saw on the pre-show of note at least was we had. Bad News Barrett, I keep wanting to say Wade Barrett, I've even made my note saying Wade Barrett, but Bad News Barrett debuting in his new attire, which looked awesome and ridiculous, but against R-Truth, and R-Truth ends up winning the match.
Really? Silver robe armor thing. It looked like they were going for more of like the Leonidas style or Roman era, that sort of like armor clothing. But the problem is they made it silver, and with the way it looks, as I pointed out, at least to me, it just reminded me of like a miniskirt version of Chun-Li's dress from Street Fighter 2.
But as I pointed out, that was just one still photo. In motion, it looked awesome. In motion, it looked right.
Fair enough.
Then they needed a different picture because it totally looked like a chick's armor.
I'm gonna make the comment.
Sorry, dude.
I'm gonna make the comment that did not look like a chick's armor because I've played RPGs. If that was a chick's armor, it'd just be a bikini.
He didn't have pants on, did he?
Ah, touche. There's that DLC.
Why haven't they done that yet?
DLC.
Females pants DLC.
Yeah. I make it free DLC too, so the women are like, we can't even complain because we want this, but then no, but guys are going to be sexist. No, it's like, yeah, but they don't have to be. It's an option. But the other thing I note was, and it was pretty straightforward. Although it did the typical thing a few of them have, where they didn't really answer the questions and eventually walked off. We had Kevin Owens in the Twitter lounge, or social media lounge, whatever you want to call it.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. So back to Rick.
All right.
Our main event.
Yeah.
Our
So
Mac
kick
Daddy.
So to kick off Money in the Bank, they started with the Money in the Bank match, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think they would start
Whoa,
with
whoa,
that.
whoa, 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 whoa.
What did I miss?
No. The pay-per-view opened. I think you forgot the Dusty Rhodes tribute that took place just before the opening of the actual pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
There was a nice tribute promo video, which they did replay during the pay-per-view. Tribute to the late Dusty Rhodes, who, if you didn't hear, did pass away earlier in the week.
Yeah, with all the superstars on the stage with the multiple dongs.
Jim.
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah.
Why did you say if you didn't hear? We just got through telling them that Dusty Rhodes passed away.
Yeah, I told
I
my
know. I'm just re-mentioning if you might tune into the recording late if they're live watching. You don't know.
Yeah,
It's the
I
same
saw
reason
it
Michael.
later in
It's the
the
same
night.
reason Michael Cole says the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't like
Michael better
Michael.
than Cole.
I know. But anyway,
We hear the X-Pound and not condone saying James is better than anyone. Thank you.
But yeah, it was a lovely video package. Apparently, when it concluded, apparently Renee Young was a complete emotional mess at this, and she threw over to the Kevin Owens interview at that point. So
Yeah, the package was great, and it did show stuff like that Hall of Fame one we mentioned, Marcus, when we did the Hall of Fame of her talking to him and doing his promo to him, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, then they had all the wrestlers on top of the stage with all the dongs. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Why is that funny, Rick?
Because I know what you mean, but it just sounds funny.
Fair enough.
and then they played it.
Just in the start, you're like all the wrestlers up there with the multiple dongs, and I'm like, I think it was a PG show, buddy. But
I do realize after you said that, I was like, oh god, yeah. I just been thinking about it, like how I used to like when Undertaker used to come out with his impressive dong.
Yeah.
See,
took a long
the-
time to go through his dongs.
Yeah, but
So when I started watching it, it was right at the end of that. I saw like the little Dusty Rhodes whenever he was born to 2015, and then it faded out and started the match. I completely missed that.
Yeah, as they played his theme song and everybody clapped along with his theme song in the beat. And the ironic thing is that's probably not even necessarily offensive, because if you came in and started making jokes about dongs and everything else, Dusty would have left his ass off at that.
Yep.
I know what you're talking about, them dongs up here.
Yep. Just like when we were talking about Undertaker's dong, many a superstar have been intimidated by his impressive dong. When the lights go out, his dong can be felt.
And now for more about his dong, we go to a special interview with Michelle McCool.
Yeah, I think gong probably would have been the better word. But I was deliberately trying not to go with gong because I was thinking insert Marcus joke by Jim, and I was like, okay, I'll go with the other one. No one's going to make a joke if I say they've got all their dong.
I didn't. I just giggled like a 12-year-old.
I know. I mean, I was thinking, and afterwards, I was like, why is that funny? When you explained, I was like, oh fuck yeah, I forgot that's a euphemism for penis. I might as well just been, oh yeah, look at all the superstars with their cocks hanging out.
Yeah.
Even the divas had cocks.
And if you want to see it, you can see it for just $9.99.
Yeah. Well, I will say the best part about this, they had them all up on the stage. And the cool part I found when they did the American Dream was when they had like Triple H even came out and smiled. Not that he was dead before someone thinks that, because I know some people might think that because Eddie's dead and all that crap that WWE had pulled in the past. But this was genuinely Triple H came out and embraced the other superstars while doing the music and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even the heels were paying tribute.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't going to stay in character. The head of the company and the nose of the company were basically going to promote this without. And I was like, that's a nice touching little scene.
They had their obligatory shot of Big Show crying.
Yep.
Was Dustin and Cody out there?
Yeah.
I didn't see them.
I thought they were. Maybe I was wrong. I only saw them quickly.
They might have been, but I only saw them during when they showed the flash at the Hall of Fame speech when they
Yeah, the
did
video
it. But,
package.
yeah, I couldn't see them on the stage. I was looking because I was just kind of wanted to see him, if that makes sense, to see if, is he going to be Stardust on the stage or Cody? But I didn't see him.
I don't know.
Although sad Stardust does kind of make me think that could be the horriblest thing ever. Just seeing a sad Stardust would make me go, ah. But when we cut off to, like Richter said, the Money in the Bank match.
Yes, quite.
Which leads me to the next member of the Essence of Hulkamania, as I've taken to calling it, where we have someone who appeared in a Money in the Bank match he wasn't scheduled to appear in.
Again, that's not Hulk Hogan. He didn't win the match, he just interfered in the match. There's a difference between interference and Hulk Hogan. Thank you. Like, Daniel Bryan knows how to Hulk Hogan. He's done it 2 WrestleManias on the run. He knows that. He knows how to do that shit.
But
It only cost him his shoulder.
That's why he's on Tough Enough with him. He's learning from Hogan. Hogan's
Hogan.
like,
Have
you
ever
appeared
seen him
in
in the
2
same place at the
WrestleMania
same
matches? Yeah, I like the idea of Hulk Hogan and Daniel Bryan being in it. Daniel Bryan's like, yeah, I appeared in 2 WrestleMania matches I wasn't scheduled to appear in. And the Hulk Hogan's like, ooh, lucky.
You gotta teach me that one, brother.
Yes.
But yeah, Bray Wyatt.
For the record, I'm just...
Jesus Christ.
For the record, on my end, you started talking after me. It's a hangout lag. I was going to say, I'm skimming through the video here, and I do not see the Rhodes brothers anywhere during the tributes. I don't think they were there.
Fair enough. But yeah, Bray Wyatt showed up, and out of nowhere, surprised the hell out of me. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And it cost Reigns the match. So I'm like, I don't know if that was a good move, but better or for worse, Sheamus won the match, and I'm okay with him winning the match.
I like the fact Reigns didn't win. Like I'd mentioned on one of the other ones of these, I thought Reigns was going to win, if that makes sense, but I didn't think that was right because I still think it's a little too soon that some fans will be like, oh, the second he gets the title, boo, you're forcing him into like win Royal Rumble. That didn't work, Money in the Bank. What, if that doesn't work, is he going to win the next thing? You know what I mean? I felt that could be bad for him, where if they build him up enough, I feel by Royal Rumble time, people will want him to win the Royal Rumble, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once Wyatt interfered, I was like, I don't want him to win because I think that's it felt more natural that he cost him it, and then they can have a rivalry because they haven't really done much with Wyatt. So
for a minute there until he walked out, until he left the ring, I thought he was entering himself as an 8th man and he was going to take the briefcase.
I kind of thought so too.
Yeah.
Go grab it. Sure, why not?
I will admit, like I mentioned to you guys before we started to record, which was partly a joke, I don't like the fact with Bray for the longest time, all he does is shows up, talks cryptic, has a match with someone, they beat him, he goes to the back, then comes back and again talks about how people are never going to be the same in a cryptic-like way, and it's like, what the hell? I mean,
Did he
like,
actually beat Ryback though?
I think he may have beat Ryback once, but I think Ryback also beat him once.
Did he?
And
I
then,
thought
Ryback went on to win the
pay-per-view
title.
and then it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Like that rivalry just was like, nope, never mind. And you're like, what?
Yeah, then Ryback goes on to win the title, and we never see Bray. And it's like, what? Like Dean Ambrose and Bray's feud, by the time that was dragged out like fuck, by the time Bray apparently won the feud, it never felt that way.
Yeah.
Nope.
It felt like Dean Ambrose made him his bitch, and then Bray won a ambulance match and hobbled to the back and was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, and I've said it before. I want to say it again because it still just makes me go, huh? The fact that starting with the Undertaker feud, he kept calling himself the new face of fear. He wanted to fight Undertaker to prove he could be the new face of fear. Since then, he hasn't won a single big match. So it's like, okay, how are we supposed to be afraid of you if you keep getting your ass kicked?
He did beat as Richter mentioned, he did beat the big guy. That makes it a big match, right?
No.
I think that's how that works, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
okay,
think he
you've won matches, but like pay-per-view stuff, the ones where you're like, oh, this is the feud underwear, I'm the new face of fear. Like you said, people are never going to be the same, and then you lose. How are any of the superstars supposed to be afraid of you if all you do is get your ass kicked? That makes no sense to me. That's
Literally.
because Kane has a history of kicking ass before he got his ass kicked. Bray doesn't have that history.
Bray had a history of the Wyatts being somewhat impressive. However, I would make the case, like I said, with the Face of Fear thing. He may have lost to Undertaker, but that doesn't necessarily mean Bray's not the new Face of Fear. It just means that the old Face of Fear just happened to still be around at the time.
Yeah, but my point is, since then, he hasn't won any of the big matches, like the pay-per-view matches and stuff. He may have won a match, not pay-per-view, but
Yeah, it was, I thought.
He
Was
beat
that a
Ryback on pay-per-view.
Okay, fair enough.
Or a special, whichever one.
One of those.
So, I don't know. It just feels like they haven't properly built him up as a new face of fear. Because when push comes to shove, he loses, and it's like you expect people to be afraid of you as this new face of fear, and you can't even win a fucking match. Really?
Yeah, like I said, I believe he had the idea behind him is sort of what they were doing with Kane, where he gives the not impressive, but he gives the speeches that people are meant to feel intimidated by. He has the cool presence, but he's there to put over other talent.
Which is fine, but Kane, the difference between him and Kane is Kane can back it up, and in the past, and even now to a degree, Kane can and will whoop your ass. He doesn't win all of them, but he has that ability, whereas Bray, I don't think, has established that. He's won some matches, yes. He's won some pretty big matches, yes. But he doesn't have the intimidation factor of Kane. He doesn't have the history of, yeah, when Kane comes out, you shit your fucking pants, because it's fucking Kane. He doesn't have that. And to go around saying, oh, I'm the new face of fear, you better fear me, woo, and then loses like every fucking match he's ever in, it's like, really? No, I'm not afraid of you. You're a pushover. You're pathetic.
Is anybody really shitting their pants every time a bald businessman wrestling in slacks comes out?
Yeah, and I made the case with Kane, not because, oh, look, he's in the authority or anything like that. I was making that case with Kane because while he did have a record of that, I'm sorry, how many years was Kane a jobber? And yet he was still treated as the unstoppable monster? How does that make any logical sense?
That's how, like, for some reason everybody is still, always terrified when the Big Show comes out, despite the fact that he's been picked up and thrown around by literally everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, but he still wins matches. That's my point. Is Bray Wyatt could go around and not be the best fighter and actually get tossed around by people, but he needs to at least, like, for some of the pay-per-view matches, he needs to win some of the big matches if he wants to be taken seriously as the new face of fear. Because no one is going to fear someone who can't win a match.
But he beat Cena at WrestleMania, I believe. Or he definitely beat him at one of the pay-per-views. He's beat Daniel Bryan at pay-per-views, Dean Ambrose at pay-per-views, Ryback, as Richter mentioned, at a pay-per-view. It just really does seem like he loses more than he wins, but he does win. I am giving him props. He does win. It's just, it's really formatic. That's all.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like I said, it was from the Undertaker one. So all the ones you mentioned, except for Ryback, happened before Undertaker. There was a great build-up to the new Face of Fear thing. He was, in my mind, at least somewhat legitimized going into the Undertaker thing, because you're right, he has beaten all these people. I could legitimately see him as a new Face of Fear if he beats the Undertaker. He lost. Fair enough. But then he kept going on saying, I'm going to be the new Face of Fear. The only person he's beaten at a pay-per-view or special, I think this one was at a special, like Richter mentioned, was Ryback, which, number one, I'm sorry, okay, Ryback's Intercontinental Champion, fair enough. I don't think anyone here actually likes Ryback or thinks he's good, but okay, fair enough, he beat him there. It's the only victory he's had. Every other person he's fought since the Undertaker since the Undertaker feud, except for Ryback, that he has fought at a pay-per-view or a special, he has lost. And he's calling himself the new Face of Fear. I'm like, no, dude, you can't call yourself the new Face of Fear when you're not scaring anybody.
But wasn't the thing you just mentioned a few minutes ago was Kane gets away with it because he already established himself by winning matches before he started going on a multiple-year fucking losing streak where he kept calling himself the unstoppable Kane, and the demon's favorite child or whatever the fuck it was at one point, and it's like, but he kept losing. Over the pay-per-views, he kept losing. Even MVP beat him a lot of times, and it's like. That's the same thing as Bray Wyatt. I liked MVP, but let's face it, WWE handled him wrong. But it's a case of Bray Wyatt was still established up to the and he lost to Undertaker, but his feuds with like Dean Ambrose and stuff, like I said, that's what hurt him in my opinion. But going forward with the losses, he still has as much credibility in terms of WWE today as Kane did when he was. Oh look, if the unstoppable Kane, and suddenly everything stops Kane. Even Shane McMahon beat Kane. And yet he was still the devil's favorite child or demon's favorite plaything or whatever the fuck it was.
Wow. But no, the thing is, I kind of disagree. Maybe we'll disagree to disagree because even at that point, Kane was still established as the Big Red Machine. He had a lot of establishment behind that. Yeah, he hasn't won everything, but he was established as the Big Red Machine, something to be feared, and people like stopped him and whatnot. But Bray Wyatt is going around saying, I am the new Face of Fear, and has done fuck all to make anyone believe he is the new Face of Fear. If he had been established as the new Face of Fear, because he's established that he's a decent competitor and that he can beat some of the big names, and I'm not questioning that. I like seeing him in the ring. I like seeing him wrestle. I don't think he's the best, but I think he's okay. And he's, like I said, he's proven he can fight against the bigger names and win. The problem is he has not established himself as the new Face of Fear because since he started calling himself that, he hasn't really won a single match.
Yeah, but
and I'm like, you can't call yourself the new Face of Fear and not win a single match.
Yeah, but before he was
calling himself, go ahead.
Before he was calling himself the new Face of Fear, Michael Cole and the commentators, while he was winning, was calling him the Face of Fear. He only started calling himself the new Face of Fear in order to go against, when he was going against Undertaker, to basically say Undertaker was a Face of Fear. However, after the fact, he was still established as a Face of Fear beforehand. They kept calling it him. That's like I said, it's like Kane coming out and calling himself the Big Red Monster, then losing to Shane McMahon. All fear the Big Red Monster, jobbed out to every fucking person on the roster. Oh, look, Kane's got his mask back. He's going to be unstoppable. And then he loses his first match back with the mask. I like Kane. I just feel WWE has jobbed him out way too much that he's almost not credible.
Sure, I can agree with that, especially recently. I think part of that is his own doing because, as we've discussed before, he himself is the kind of person who will put people over, and like we've said, he doesn't want the big titles or anything. So I think part of the booking is him basically saying, "Yeah, I'll do that," or "Yeah, book me this way because I don't really want to win. I'd rather the young people win because I'm close to retiring and stuff like that."
Yep. But yeah,
I guess maybe it's just because Bray Wyatt is so new on the scene and such a younger talent. It's like you can't. I don't know. I just don't feel he's been established in the gimmick they're trying to use for him, and therefore it doesn't work. Because I'm sorry, maybe it's just me, but I don't feel intimidated by Bray Wyatt. I can't feel intimidated by Bray Wyatt because he can't win a fucking match.
Yeah, but like I said, I think part of that as well is WWE today, as we've mentioned in the past. WWE today is moving at a hell of a lot more faster pace than it ever was in the past. Like, for example, look how long, for example, just to use it, like how long did Austin v McMahon last?
Mm-hmm.
How long did Bray Wyatt, not Bray Wyatt, how long did Daniel Bryan versus the Authority last?
True.
And you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, this guy's coming back as as unstoppable. Like when Hulk Hogan came back, how many months was Hulkamania running wild through WWE after it returned and was built up as a massive storyline? How much was Brock when he came back to face Triple H?
Mm-hmm.
It's like WWE nowadays. It's because of like social media and stuff, but like at the start of the year, start of last year, everyone was like, "Yay, Roman Reigns the champion." By the end of the year, everyone's booing him for winning the Royal Rumble to become champion. We're now moving at a much faster space now because everyone always wants something different. And after 3 months or 4 months, everything seems to like, we've been there, we've done that. This is dragging. This is, you know what I mean, this has been done to death. It's like it's been 3 months. Like we mentioned that with Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, just because, which I feel is partly because of how WWE was booked. How sick did we get sick and tired of that feud?
That feud was stupid. Like you said, that's kind of where Bray lost pretty much all of his credibility.
Yeah, but how longer was a similar feud, in my opinion, of The Rock versus Mankind that also had similar match types and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It went on longer. It was, but you didn't get sick of it because everything at the time was longer. Nowadays, everything needs to be quicker and keep moving and keep moving. Like everything needs to change as fast as Cena's tops.
Pretty much.
Basically.
John Cena's tops.
Also, just for the record, to make a point against you, Marcus, because I'm the guy that looks things up. there is a reason that the only pay-per-view victory Bray Wyatt has had since the Undertaker feud was against Ryback.
That's
the only pay-per-view.
That's the only feud he's had. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so since then he's won every pay-per-view he's appeared on.
Evidently.
It just seems to me that he's been picking fights with other people in the New Face of Fear and losing every fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he won. He defeated the Ryback at Payback appropriately.
The Ryback.
The Ryback says.
Yeah.
Feed the Ryback more.
See, to me, the Ryback sounds like a sandwich on rye bread. I want the Ryback.
Yeah. Before that, he lost to the Undertaker. Before that, he beat Ambrose in an ambulance match, among others.
Yeah, but I know he had at least one other feud, if not two, between Undertaker and Ryback. They might not have culminated in a pay-per-view, but I know he's had other feuds.
They weren't really feuds. They were just he came out and did almost the bidding of other people, or was coming out and being vague and then attacking once and then having a match on Raw. It wasn't really feuds. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like
but
it feels really people for a while.
But it still feels really formatic, and like I mentioned, I think it's because of the times.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And yeah, because he did the whole Undertaker thing, and then on April 27th, which would have been maybe he was off TV for a few weeks, and then he started doing vignettes, which ended up being the Ryback thing. So, like I said, before that, he beat Ambrose in the ambulance match, among others. Before that, he beat Jericho. But
yeah, which makes me say that, like I said, it's the times, because like Marcus said, well, since then, since the Undertaker feud. What's he really done on paper? Yeah, he beat the Ryback, but come on, what else has he done? It's like, but that's like not that long ago, and that was all he's done, and he's won, and it's like, but nowadays that feels like that's too long, if that makes sense. Like it feels like everything needs to be fast, which makes WWE Fastlane the perfect pay-per-view for today's age. Thank you. Back to the hammy.
WWE's fast forward.
But yeah, the match, the Money in the Bank match. I did not like this match. Look, guys, Money in the Bank match ago, I thought this was kind of boring.
I liked this match, but it didn't feel like normal Money in the Bank matches, and I feel I know why.
Okay, why?
As I've mentioned in the past, no Money in the Bank really nowadays, and I know this may sound bad, it doesn't quite feel like Money in the Bank unless Shelton Benjamin's doing shit. That was all Money in the Bank was to me. Okay, someone's going to become champion. We're going to find out who the next champion is. It's like giving away a spoiler. It's going to be who's the next champion. but we're gonna get to see Shelton Benjamin do crazy shit.
Yeah, there was really nobody there to do crazy shit. You're right. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's what makes this different. This
okay.
was more of a well-placed one. There was like I think Kofi and maybe someone else, but like normally
Neville.
but normally there's like 3 or 4 high flyers and then like 1 power guy or 2 at the most. The rest are all like Tyson Kidd style people. The rest.
The thing is, all you really need is one good high flyer. But the problem is, the high flyers they had in this match didn't really do anything. It was kind of boring.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. We had Neville and we had Kofi, but the rest were all like Orton.
Mhm.
They were Orton, Reigns, Sheamus, Kane. You're not gonna see like fucking Orton suddenly do a like dive off the ladder. You're not gonna see this. Like, oh my god, Superman punch from the ladder down to the floor. It's been fucking amazing, actually. But
I thought we were gonna get a zigzag, but then he didn't do it.
thank you. I forgot Ziggler was in the match.
I actually wrote down the 7 people just because I knew I would forget one person at any given time.
The thing is, if you look at who was in the match, the people they had in the match, that could have been an amazing match. They had really great talent in the match. It could have made that match awesome. The problem was that the pace was so slow, and the high flyers didn't fly. I'm like, do something fucking nuts. Like,
Gravity, remember
sad.
them.
It's kind of sad
I know,
when,
right?
yeah.
I
It's
just
kinda
like
sad.
that, like a Telltale game. Right when he does it, right in the corner, Gravity will remember that.
No. It's kind of sad when the main event was a better. Well, it's a ladder match. It was a better ladder match than the Money in the Bank. That shouldn't happen. The Money in the Bank match should be the best ladder match on the card.
See, like I said, I really liked this match. I didn't think it was as good as some other Money in the Bank matches, but I didn't think it was bad. This reminded me more in terms of a ladder match of sort of, but not as extreme as like the Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon style older ones, where it was more about the pacing, so everyone looked good. Whereas some of the newer ones were, like I mentioned, just like, yay, let's have this superstar do something cool and crazy. But it's like this Money in the Bank. It felt like everyone besides Dolph Ziggler, because I did generally forget he was in the match. Everyone still felt like they needed to be there. And I think the only way they would have done that would have been the slower pace. Like, otherwise, guys like Neville and Kofi would have ran fucking circles around everyone there with their speed and shit, and no one would have been able to touch them, and that would have been boring.
Yeah.
Or it would have been just those two jumping off stuff.
Well, I
And
didn't say for
Ziggler.
them to. I didn't think they should constantly do it, but it's like, honestly, when I was watching this match, I don't remember seeing really much of the high flying of anything. I don't remember seeing them doing any crazy stuff, and it's like, you know, I could have missed it, I suppose, but I don't recall. Because, you know, you mentioned, you know, you're right, Neville is in that match. It's like, I would have wanted Neville to do, like, I don't know, a red arrow off the top of the ladder or something, you know, something crazy, just one thing. You don't have to go fucking nuts, just do
That
one
would-
crazy thing.
That would have been crazy. If he had actually done the red arrow off a ladder, I think that would have been crazy. I mean, I believe he may have done that in the past, but I'm not. Whenever I see that red arrow, I'm like, ooh. If he fucks that up a tiny bit off the top turnbuckle, he's going to be paralyzed. If he does it off a ladder, he's fucking dead. He's so dead, I thought Ray tried to wrestle him.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh god, that's so harsh. I'm sorry.
that was mean.
I'm mean. I'm sorry.
No, because I mean, like, with like Money in the Bank matches previous and other like multi-man ladder matches, we've seen that WWE can pace it so that they put some big guys in there, some medium guys in there, and then some lightweights, and have it so that the lightweights don't run roughshod over them with the speed. That they hit a couple, you know, they should do some flash, some flare, show off a little bit of the speed, hit a couple of, you know, high-flying crazy shit, but, you know, the other guys can still overcome with their power, and it becomes a balanced match. This one just felt horribly unbalanced. Like the Flyers didn't stand a chance, and they didn't. No, maybe not stand a chance, but they didn't get to do what they're known for and actually make this a spectacle. Which, in my mind, Money in the Bank is supposed to be a spectacle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Normally in the past, the balance has been more high flyers to big men. So this one was more like the reverse, which I was like, it was still nice to see, if that makes sense. And no, I don't think anyone saw that ending coming. And when it did, I was like,
No.
And when Sheamus wins, I was like, okay, I'm okay with Sheamus winning. And we instantly all started to talk about where that could go and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's cool. I like that. And I was like, it wasn't a terrible Money in the Bank, and it was a pretty good match. I thought it was pretty solid.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought I agree that I think it could have been better because Money in the Bank is usually, even if not Shelton Benjamin, usually there's like some really good highlights, and there was the only really part where I was just like, "Ooh, I like that," was the like power bomb that Reigns did to Kofi, and then Neville onto Kofi. Like that part was cool, but the rest of it was just kind of like average, and I was like, "This is okay." And
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is how do you put Kofi Kingston in the match and not have him do at least one crazy, like, nearly suicidal thing? It's Kofi
did.
Kingston. That's what he does.
he didn't initiate it, but there was a crazy, almost suicidal thing.
Yeah. Well, what did Jim think of that match?
It was an okay match. Nothing really. I said, Kofi went through a ladder. That was pretty cool. Ladder bent. Still got smashed on that ladder. Stuff like that. I mean, it was a lot of things that, you expect to see in a lot of matches. It wasn't any really crazy high-flying stuff, but I think in a lot of instances like this, WWE's trying to tone back on that because there has been seemingly a pretty large rash of injuries lately of guys who do crazy shit. Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. So they probably decided we're going to tone it back for this one. We're not going to go super insane. We're not going to Jeff Hardy this one.
That is true. The last multi-man match they had in WWE, Daniel Bryan got injured.
True. But I mean, you don't have to do stuff that can severely injure superstars. Like, again, take Kofi Kingston, for instance. In one of the matches, wasn't he the one that took a broken ladder and used it as fucking stilts?
Yeah, but wasn't that a tag one?
Was it? Because I thought he used it. It might have been a tag match, but it was still in a ladder match to try to get to the belts.
Yeah, but
Which,
it was a tag one because I think it was a tag one, but I may have been wrong about that. I thought it was just a normal tag team one, but yeah, that when he did that stilts thing, that was kind of funny. But I think that was like a one-off thing, so it's like I think they've ran out of Kofi Kingston saves.
Right, but my point with that was not necessarily just for Kofi. I'm just saying that they could have done stuff like that because to me, you don't have to be suicidal. While that is the coolest stuff to see, I also like to see innovation in the matches. That's why I really like Kofi Kingston, especially in matches like this, because he can innovate on stuff. And it's like they didn't even really innovate in this match. There was nothing special about this match. It's like we've kind of seen it before, and you had no flat, show us some flash. So show us some innovation. You're trying to tone it back, fair enough, but you can still innovate. Kofi Kingston has proved it. He did the stilts thing. It's not like he was going to die. Why? Because there's a fucking ladder for him. If anything happens, he just grabs the ladder because he was walking toward a ladder.
I would also say Kofi Kingston has not proved that. Because as Jim mentioned, they'd be turning back recently because, like I mentioned, the last multi-man match they had, Daniel Bryan got injured. So this is the first one since they've been toning back, which means Kofi Kingston was in this match. Yeah, he's proved they can't.
How do you say that?
Well, did he do it in this match?
No, but I'm just saying they could have done something. I'm not saying do that specific thing, but I'm saying there's innovative things you can do with the ladders, the shows, whatever, and not put it into a situation where you're like, okay, this is highly dangerous. And I just feel that they kind of took the safe way out, and because of that, it made the match kind of boring. Because they didn't really, there was almost no point, aside from the fact that you have to climb the ladder to get the thing. There's almost no point to even make this like a ladder match. I'm like,
they used the ladder as a weapon.
Yeah, but it was just, I don't know, it just felt generic to me. I'm like, I wanted something more. It left me wanting more. It left me wanting, something innovative. Because, I don't know, maybe to me, whenever I see ladder match, especially the Money in the Bank match, for me to completely enjoy the match and to say, okay, that was awesome, there's got to be something innovative in there or something, holy shit in there, And, okay, they're toning back the violent type stuff, we don't want our people to get injured. So innovate. Show me something that I go, holy shit, that was clever, as opposed to holy shit, that looked like it hurt. I guess all I'm saying is you can give it the oomph, the holy shit factor without endangering your superstars, and Money in the Bank is supposed to be the match that allows you to do that, in my opinion. And they just failed to deliver.
Yeah, you can, but I think part of that was they kept a load of stuff like that for the main title, for the main ladder match, because that was the main event.
I could see that.
Yeah, but even then, that ladder match wasn't that good of a ladder match. It was okay. It was a better match. I really enjoyed that match, which we'll get to. But I don't know. It's just.
See, I thought, ironically, which we will get to with the Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, while parts of it were bad and parts of the stuff was a little bad, I thought it's been one of the best ladder matches. Because, like I said, I always preferred the ladder matches like Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels. Not everyone's just going to jump off shit.
Yeah, the last match was good, and you're right. And so I said the whole Money in the Bank didn't have to be people jumping off shit. I would like to see one moment that, because to me, for especially Money in the Bank, ladder matches in general, but especially Money in the Bank, there's got to be one moment that just etches itself in my mind of, yeah, that was the moment of the match. Even with the powerbomb thing, yeah, that was that looked like a hurt moment. That wasn't. It didn't etch itself in my mind because it wasn't innovative. It's stuff we've seen before from other people, and it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, but like you said, you just want something that'll stand out in your mind, and they did like suicide dives and stuff like that, which, okay, you might have that, but I think the Bray Wyatt appearance was the thing that'll stand out in everyone's mind.
I was just gonna say the Bray Wyatt thing was that moment.
Yeah, that was wait, what? Oh shit! And then when Sheamus won, you're like, wait, no one thought Sheamus would win. Everyone was on Reigns to win and stuff. So you had the surprise victory. You had oh my god, was someone interfering, and you had like the powerbomb and the suicide dives. I'm like, that's pretty good, and especially considering this was the opening matchup of a pay-per-view. That's pretty good for an opening match.
That was everything. I thought it was weird, especially since they didn't do anything with it. I thought it was weird that this was the opening match. The title, the titular match of the pay-per-view is the opening match. How does that make any sense?
Like I said, I think it was because the main event was the title one, and since they chose to put that as a ladder match, they wanted enough distance between the two that you didn't get sick of seeing ladder matches.
If you get sick of seeing ladder matches, you shouldn't be watching a pay-per-view called Money in the Bank.
I would say if you were sick of seeing ladder matches, you shouldn't see TLC because that has ladder in the title.
That too. So does Money in the Bank. Then technically Money in the Bank is a ladder match.
It is, but it doesn't have it in the title. It just says Money in the Bank, which just implies one Money in the Bank match because there's only one championship.
Fair enough. Like I said, it might just come down to preferences and what we were looking for in the matches. Like I said, to me, this year's Money in the Bank match just didn't do it for me. It just felt like it came up short. It was missing something. And so, that's my opinion of the match.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
You said no one expected Sheamus to win. Did anyone want him to win?
I didn't mind Sheamus winning.
Okay. Because I sure as hell did not want him to win.
Yeah, I didn't want him to win. I didn't want him to win. He wasn't like my favourite going in there, but when he won, I was like, I don't mind. I like Sheamus.
It definitely set the mood for the evening of like, that was a pretty good match. Oh, the ending was fucking awful. A theme we see repeated several times to me.
Yeah, I didn't want him to win, but I guess I'm okay with it. I would prefer a number of other people to win it, but I was like, okay, he's never won it. That's fine. We'll see where they go with this. And with this match being the first one, Mole was saying, well, maybe they want the Money in the Bank winner fresh because they're going to do something with it at the end. Okay, fair enough. And they did nothing, and I was disappointed.
Yeah, considering like the knockdowns drag out fight, I was like, oh, is he going to cut? Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that because there was a moment in there that when Mole made a comment that's kind of a half joke made me laugh like fuck.
It wasn't a half joke. I was joking.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because I started it with, wouldn't that be funny?
Sure. Funny. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah,
Look
I'll admit, in this matchup, the only ones I didn't want to win it would have been Randy Orton or Dolph Ziggler.
Mhm.
That's because I don't really like Dolph Ziggler. And Randy Orton, I like Randy Orton, but let's face facts and let's just be a little bit honest. He's one joint away from another wellness strike.
And he's won it before.
And yeah, but if
Yeah.
that happens, he gets fired, which means he'd be champion, get fired, and we'd never have a rematch. That's really unhealthy for the business to risk that, if that makes sense, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Kofi would have been cool. He would be my last of the ones I'd want to win, but he would have been cool.
I was rooting for Neville.
Yeah, Neville would have been awesome.
That would be awesome, but I figured that would not happen.
Like I mentioned with my second pick, the one I was kind of hoping would win, but didn't. I thought Reigns would win. I kind of hoped Kane would. Because I'm sorry, Kane with the Money in the Bank, with Seth Rollins being the way he is, would just be so fucking hilarious. Because you know Kane would constantly keep taunting him with, you do know I've got the Money in the Bank, right? And it'd just be like, you're just one thing away and I'll do this. And especially like when Triple H is like, okay, Seth Rollins, tonight you're gonna face, I don't know, Randy Orton to get to one-on-one, and Kane will be at ringside. If he's at ringside with the Money in the Bank, the whole time Seth Rollins would be like, you'd be looking at him sort of the way you do in the Universe mode with that guy with the ticket, where you're like, are you gonna jump me at some point? Or the way Crispy does any time he teams with me. When is your inevitable betrayal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to insert here, Richter, you have the Money in the Bank to our hearts. Continue.
Oh, thank you. All right, so on to the next match then.
I would hope so.
Okay. Just double checking in case anyone wanted to add anything. So the next match was the Divas match of Paige versus Nikki.
For the Divas title.
Yes, for the Divas title. And it was
Where Nikki wins due to, I'm assuming, is an intentionally botched twin magic attempt.
That would be the idea.
Yes.
Which was actually kind of funny. And Bella Twins going heel? Question mark?
I have no idea why it didn't work. I mean, didn't Brie retain the title on Raw? They showed that clip, right?
Yep.
So Brie retained it, so she can lose it, right? I don't know. To me, it's just like, okay, that should have worked. That's horseshit. That's the drawback to Twin Magic is, if it should be a double-edged sword, not a fucking I win no matter what. I'm like, see again, shitty ending. I'm like, a match is okay, shitty ending. Continues the streak.
Yeah, I will say I don't think that was intentionally botched, if that makes sense. Like in terms of story, I think it's more of a case of we've now finally see what happens when that doesn't work, in terms of and how it can be. Like Rick said, like I win no matter what, which I'll admit it was kind of funny when she was pulling out the papers and going,
That was funny. I could just.
I'm not Nikki.
I knew somewhere. Okay, England. I knew Mole was just smiling like, yes, admit it. Like,
See,
he always makes the jokes like, one of them has the wrong chest size, and that, like, she's just pulling out. I'm like, that seems really okay, whatever.
See, because she did that, that's why I thought it might have been intentional, because I thought they might have planned it in case they're discovered. That's what Brie would do, and then Nikki would come out to do the roll-up.
You see, I thought it was a case of she did that, so she was like when they put the jacket on the other one of the New Day. So it was like she looks the part enough that the ref's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and when it messed up and Nikki won, I was like, okay, I wanted Paige to win, but that was kind of hilarious. Like kind of like the Divas match. I was like, yay, that was kind of funny, but just because we don't normally see Twin Magic fail this way. Normally when we see Twin Magic fail, it's the other way. If they know who it is, they kick them out the ring and then wait for Nikki. It's kind of cool to see this because it kind of reminds me, even though I know people are going to say it's not, but it reminds me similar of, do you remember the old Eddie Guerrero cheat to win style tactics? Like, oh, his boots come off, wait, what? Or the chair tactic. I'm like, I like to see that now and again. It's like, it's kind of cool that the Bellas had a plan B. Oops.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought it was intentionally planned, like they had, like you said, a plan B in case it failed. I thought that's why she was pulling out the fucking like tissue out of her bra and being like, "No, I agree." See, I thought that was like all part of the plan. Like, if Twin Magic fails, then we do this, and I win anyway.
See, I thought it was more of a case of when Twin Magic, it just happened to fail, and Bree's like, no, and convinces the ref, and Nikki just happened to capitalize on it, if that makes sense.
Fair enough.
But like I said, I thought that was kind of cool. And it was cool that this time they were in similar enough outfits that I will believe it.
Yeah. It was more convincing than other times, we'll say.
Yeah, like when one went under the ring and out came Big E,
Yeah.
dressed like Nikki.
That would have been amazing. I'm holding on that you're going to do it, because you said that you would win Money in the Bank and cash in on one of the Bellas.
I want to see Mark Henry do it. I want to see Mark Henry roll under the ring when Nikki comes out, when the ref's like, oh my god, because she's got blackface. She's like, no, and then she starts to pull the tissue out.
Of her crotch.
No, I was just implying Mark Henry had bigger moves.
Well,
Fair enough.
I mean, fact.
Richter's going to have to be the judge of that, go backstage, and he's like, oh, Mark Henry and Nikki together. I can see my opportunity. Don't grabs both breasts. And I just, what the hell are you doing? It's for my podcast. Oh, okay. And they just carry on having their conversation.
Aren't you Triple H's friend? Yes, we are.
Yeah. Big
What's
Show,
Jim-
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Even worse, Clay, you don't work here anymore.
Man, Austin, you put on weight.
That's what you need to do, Rick. Next time
What?
we do it in Seattle, you need to buy a front row ticket to WWE and wear your best Brutus Clay attire and hold up a front ticket when you're on the air. So people are like, wait, is that Brutus Clay?
Wow.
That'd
Okay,
be amazing.
But let's be fair then. You need to go wear your Kevin Owens shirt and do the same thing. And they'll be like,
Yeah.
look, it's Kevin Owens.
Cut your
Yes.
hair, yeah.
Yeah, I would have to cut my hair, unfortunately. But yes, I would totally do that. Kevin Owens is awesome. And Marcus can
He's
do
the
that with
American
Jin
King.
Yang Chang.
Mm.
People will think he's just been stung by a bee.
If you did that, that would probably also require you, depending on when you did it, Mo, to purchase a replica NXT title.
There you go.
I'll just write one on cardboard.
Yeah, that's ECW legit.
But yeah, what
You
did
see-
Jim think of the match?
You see me in the front row? Is that one of the vaudevillains?
Yes.
If I saw you on the front row, I'd be like, wait, isn't that the last GM?
Who was the
I
last
just-
GM?
Brad Mackins, or whatever he's called.
Oh, Maddox. Yeah, okay, I'll take
Yeah,
that.
Brad
Who's
Mackins.
still there? I saw him in the crowd during the Dusty tribute, and I was like, he's still employed?
Yeah,
I
whenever,
think you.
whenever I saw Brad, I was like, be honest, if we had a
think he works
mustache to him,
backstage.
he's Jim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of. Yeah, I will take that. I'm not going to be offended by that.
Yeah, Jim, what do you think of the match?
Anyway, it was a decent match. I missed portions of it. So when Bree started pulling the t-shirt out, I'm like, wait, that like is she the one that came down the ramp, or did they like switch under the ring and I missed it or something? I was trying to figure out what happened.
Didn't
I got
she also
confused.
change her hair?
That was the other thing. I'm like, because then Nikki jumped in. I'm like, wait, Nikki's hair seems way longer and a different color. How the fuck is this working?
Oh, I didn't mean that. I thought when Brie was doing it, I thought she'd lightened her hair to match more of Nikki's colouring. This time, normally not, but this time I thought she'd lightened her hair a little bit. Like, this time they had the hair, the fake boobs. It's like, we're on top of all of this.
Well, no, I think Bree's hair was closed, but the problem is Bree's hair was in a fucking ponytail, so you couldn't tell.
They even made it seem really legit when you saw her on the back, and as they parted her legs to lift up the leg to basically get the 1, 2, 3, out popped the blue towel. No?
I don't
Blue
know.
towel.
Sorry.
I was thinking of Cena's little towel that he throws into the
That's
audience.
what I
I don't know why.
Oh, you know why.
Cena's tally hops out. The champ is here.
Yep.
Nah.
I still think we should have had a Divas Money in the Bank match one
That would have
year.
been awesome. That'd be awesome.
I don't know if that'd be a clusterfuck or that'd be awesome. Because there is some divas on there that can wrestle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're just all on NXT. Ba-doom-tsh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, imagine how awesome it'd be if, like, you could see, like, Natalia do like Jericho did and actually do a submission on the ladder. Or to see if we want people jumping off stuff. Imagine Tamina doing her splash off the top of a ladder to a diva.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It'd be like, ooh.
If she did that, I would want her to turn toward wherever the nearest camera is that's filming her and be like, Karma, here's the real implant buster. Boom! Because, I'm sorry, a splash from that far up, that would bust implants.
Only she did it to Nikki Bella.
Or Stephanie.
Or Eva.
Stephanie actually had them removed.
No, she's got to do it to Abella, and then she's like, ha ha ha, they're broken, and then she stands up, pulls the tissues out.
Fun fact. Yeah. And fun fact, Stephanie had hers removed, painted black, and put on a stick, and that's what Triple H now uses. I don't know why.
I don't even.
Moving on.
Oh my god, imagine that as his WrestleMania fucking throne next year if he comes out and it's got two fake breasts on there. Like either side of his head, like, yeah.
No, the throne from Enter the Dominatrix.
Yes.
There you go.
With all members of the clique on different dildos.
Yes.
Ah, wow. Create an entrance, WWE. Make it happen.
X-Pac has anal heat. But I believe you have another match after this.
Greatest shirt ever. Yeah, there was. We had the Intercontinental match.
The ending was weird.
The ending was kind of dumb, but kind of, huh? Where Big Show wins by DQ due to Miz assaulting the Big Show and then Ryback.
Yep, which I'll say what I mentioned, Rick, to the other two, since we've said how it ended. Basically, in my opinion, the match was boring as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Then Miz, I was like, okay, this is gonna be awesome, and then it wasn't, because when he interfered and he started to go up the ramp with that microphone, flipping it around, catching it and stuff, I thought he was gonna get to the ramp and sort of CM Punkish style, like when he did it with Cena and stuff. I was expecting a promo, because why take a microphone with you? And then he doesn't speak, and I'm like, oh, he's not speaking, is he?
I just liked him hitting Big Show several times, and then just kind of like haphazardly hit Ryback once and then left. I'm like, what the? Was that just like a token hit? Like, I'm hitting you too, so you know. Like, just weird.
He only gently tapped Ryback. He's like, I'm in the ring with this dude soon. I don't want to get injured.
That's true. He doesn't want to get Ryback heat.
I think it was also more because they're like his hometown or whatever. He was kind of a face, but he had to assault Ryback because WWE. So he's like, well, I'll just hit him once, so that I don't get actual heel heat from the crowd.
Does anyone remember the jacked up WWE figures? And they're like,
Yes.
oh, muscular and stuff.
Yes.
Does anyone else think Ryback looks sort of like a Big Show version of that? Well, like Big Show jacked up, like, oh.
But I have to obligatorily point out that they accidentally put the RVD paint on him.
There you go.
That couldn't be worse than the figure I had.
Oh.
I actually have. I've got it somewhere. I can't remember where. It's in a box somewhere. But I bought it just because I was like, this shouldn't be a thing. Like you sometimes get misprints.
Yeah.
I bought Edge as Edge. Clearly it's Edge. It's the Edge figure, the Edge hair, the Edge attire. It says Edge on his trunks.
Mm-hmm.
The nameplate going across the front says Triple H with Triple H's photo there.
Nice.
And I'm like, what? This makes no sense. I must purchase it now.
More valuable than a double
behind it,
arm
all the
cannon
other
Samus.
Yeah. And I looked behind it and all the other ones said Edge. So I'm like, yeah, I'm buying the Triple H one. I don't know why. It's funny. I'm never opening this.
Nice.
It's like my WCW figure I have somewhere which I did open of Hulk Hogan, who, no joke, looks darker than any of the New Day.
Nice.
Wow.
I was not sure if that was racist or not. He looks
Not
almost
when
like
it's
Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. I'm a brother
Wow.
playing another brother.
Ah.
I'm a brother dresses, but yeah. Oh, I wish he'd say that now.
Or at the very least, have Axelmania say it.
He entered a race. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think anyone found this match good.
Jim?
No.
Not really. No, can't say I did.
And you also found it weird, didn't you, Rick, with the microphone? Like I said, well, how he didn't speak. I was like, why isn't he speaking? I even pointed out to the others, and they were like, well, he had it before he came out. I'm like, that's no excuse. Speak with it. If you don't need it, just leave it at ringside.
Yeah. Yeah, he bothered to take it with him, and then you're like, oh, he's gonna. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was his, and he's like, I don't want to leave this. They might take it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend it's one of those replica, like the toy ones you can buy that'll like play someone's entrance music.
You mean like my one where where everyone speaks and it sounds just like them?
Yeah,
Except
that one.
for some reason, I think it was horribly recorded, Rey Mysterio. Because it's like, oh, I'm the Undertaker. It's like, okay, that makes sense. If you want some, come get some. From scenes like, cool. And you hit Rey, and it's like, booyaka, 619. And I'm like, what? Who the fuck is that? And when I hit it, it's like, I'm Rey Mysterio, and you're one move away from the 6-1. And I'm like, yeah, 'cause that's a great impression. Whenever you have to introduce it by saying, I'm Rey Mysterio. Wow, you've convinced me.
My name is Rey Mysterio.
My client, Eddie Guerrero.
I'm the one behind the 619. But yeah,
I'm the one behind the RIP. Sorry, I got mentioned earlier. I just wanted to throw back once. Rick always likes a good that dude died joke.
I actually prefer the I did this joke earlier, remember it, but yeah, sure, why not? We'll go with a dude died joke. Those can be good.
Marcus.
Oh, Marcus. It's like a sitcom.
Yeah. Yeah, just see Marcus like stabbing people and says, oh, that Marcus, and then wah wah.
Jim Mole and I are sitting on a couch, and it's just like, in other news, this celebrity died. We all turn, and we're just like, Marcus, and he's there up next to the wall, like, has a knife through a dude's throat, and he just shrugs with that, like, look on his face.
Oh, who have you killed this week, Marcus? Oh, that'll be a surprise, he says, with weird-shaped lightsabers.
You'll find out next week.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that like Looney Tunes fade out with the circle, you know? Zooms in on him, just him.
And like I mentioned, Marcus, I have to ask. You obviously Leonard Nimoy. Did you do like I mentioned, you made the joke with the lightsabers? Did you do Christopher Lee just to sort of balance it out? One from both Star Wars and Star Trek?
Well, as we all know, there must be balance in the Force.
Could Hercules be shitting himself in case you think Andromeda's good?
No, my Sorbo.
My nemesis.
No, but I think Batfleck should be scared. You will fear more than the Batfleck.
Mm-hmm.
Do you die? You will. This got really dark. Darker than that Hogan figure. And now I'm fired. Anyway. Oh.
No, we allow racism here.
Yay. I thought we kicked that dude out. Anyway.
Yeah, you're the racist John we allow.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it says no racist Johns. We're allowed one.
Wait a minute.
I loved the no homers joke.
Yeah, trying to figure out if. Okay. So I guess on to the next match.
Yes.
Pretty much.
The Cena v Owens match.
That's my match of the night.
That was an awesome match.
Cena wins.
The stunner was a little weird. He didn't go quite far enough. But
Yeah.
besides that, the matchup was pretty cool. I liked this match.
It was a solid match.
And I didn't mind Cena won. Like I said last time, I kind of knew he would. I wasn't gonna rage. I was not gonna rage, but like some people probably would, because I was like, well, the only one Owens needed to win was the first.
Yep.
He's done that. He's cemented himself. Cena's won this one. Arguably, Owens should win the next one, but I wouldn't complain if Cena does.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Question for Rick.
Uh-huh.
At the end, when Owens does the power bomb to the ring apron,
Mm-hmm.
when you saw it, where did you see Cena land when he did it? Because Mole and I were having a discussion about that after the match.
This is going to be really interesting. I don't know. I didn't. So this was conveniently timed for when I had to make dinner.
Yeah.
So the only report I got was my son asking my wife, "Who do you think's going to win?" So I yelled down the stairs, "Tell him the sloppy fat guy." So when she says, "The sloppy fat guy," and he comes up later, and he knows which one that is, which was really funny. Well, I guess he could figure it out. But and then my daughter apparently watched the end of the match, came up, and he goes, "Oh, who won?" And she goes, "I did." He's like, "There you go." I'm like, "Oh, so the match isn't over?" And he goes, "Yeah, no, she won." I'm like, or he's like, "Yeah, didn't you hear?" I was like, "Yeah, she said she won. She wasn't in the match." He's like, "No, but she said that John Cena would win." I was like, "John Cena won? What the hell?" Well, I didn't say that. I was like, "What? Okay."
Yep.
And later
okay.
heard that he
It's okay.
beat him up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he turned it into a Kevin Owens match. Okay, got it."
Yeah. What we were debating or discussing was when he hit, like I said, on the replays and everything, it looks like it hit Cena's skin, which is clearly his lower back. Marcus thinks it was his butt.
Yeah, it looked, because he dropped him at an angle, which I don't think he was meant to do, but it looked like he dropped him just shy of dropping him on his tailbone on the right side, like he landed on the right hip. Because when Cena came up afterwards and was hobbling away with the help of the refs and stuff, he was favoring the right leg, like, selling the injury, but he was selling it like he had landed like somewhere near like the right butt cheek.
Okay.
When he got slammed onto the thing. Because I made the remark to Mole when he dropped it, I was like, ooh, that looks like he might have dropped him a little too low on the butt there. Because usually when you see him do it to Sami Zayn, it's a flush powerbomb back to the ring apron. When he dropped Cena, it seemed like he held Cena too high or didn't drop him down far enough or something, or didn't have enough room to drop him down far enough, and actually dropped him almost feet first onto the thing. And when I first saw him do it, because it was quick, I was like, ooh, did he just drop him on his tailbone? That looked like it hurt.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, to me it looked like it hit his lower back, like almost near the waistline, but on Cena's right-hand side, but in the left it was going upwards, if that makes sense. So
Possible, yeah, it might have been.
I thought it was just his back.
I don't know. How about you, Jim? I know you saw it.
Yeah, it looked like when he did the powerbomb, Cena hit the apron on an angle, which is why it looked weird.
Yeah.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think it went that low to hit his ass. I think it's just because Cena hit it on an angle, it was just kind of weird the way his back hit it, so it looked like more of a hit than it actually did. It was not the flush one that he hit on like Sami Zayn. That one was I don't know if Cena started slipping or whatever, but he was angled when he hit. Like he was angled slightly to the left when he hit it, so it went diagonally on Cena's back, and part of it might have hit his waist area.
Part of it is Cena's a bigger guy than Sami Zayn. He's probably heavier than him too.
I would imagine so.
And I will say, Rick, when your kid said Cena won, did you say, "Okay, kids, now we riot"?
No, I did not. I said, "Here's your hamburger." No.
Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch that match, because in my opinion, that was definitely the match of the night, Richter.
I will get right on that. With my love of Kevin Owens, first thing I'm going to do when we're done is go watch
Corey Graves on commentary.
I know, that sounds like everything. Just throw JBL in commentary, and holy shit, we got everything I want to see.
And Mike Adel as a ring announcer.
Yes. Oh my god, that poor dude. That was it. I didn't hate him. It just hurt to watch him.
Yeah, I didn't hate him. I felt WWE were mean to him, because it's he messed up a bit on commentary, and WWE was like, okay, people thought it was a little funny when he fucked up. Yeah. Well, if we make him GM, now he's gonna fuck up on bigger stages, and it's like, oh come on, you're setting him up to fail.
Also, Cena pulled out a new move, and Will and I were talking,
Replace.
and he pulled it out, and I was like, what? What the hell was that? He basically did, it looked kind of like a sunset flip powerbomb.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it wasn't like
Was
Yeah,
that
it
the
was
flip thing?
Yeah.
I heard
it was
something about a flip thing. Like John Cena tried to do a flip thing, but Kevin Owens knew it was coming. I was like, I don't even know what you're
No.
talking about, kid.
No, it was Cena. Basically, what happened was Kevin Owens picked John Cena up and went for a power bomb,
Mhm.
and John Cena kind of did that thing where he flipped himself backwards, so he was like hanging down from Kevin Owens' shoulders,
Hmm.
and then clearly they were not quite prepared to do the move because they stalled for about 5 seconds, and it looked really awkward. And then Cena did manage to get like his arms behind Owens' legs, and they did like this sunset flip power bomb, which looked really clean when they did it, but because they stalled to set it up, it looked a little awkward when it started.
I think what happened was when Cena flipped over, he realized he didn't have enough momentum, so he pushed himself off. So he basically pushed himself back into the air and let himself fall to get more momentum, and then did it.
See, I didn't think that looked that weird when he did it.
No.
I thought it was more like like when
Look
people
flash.
sometimes hold on and then like they're sort of
Yeah.
struggling and then boom they do it. So I
Yeah.
thought it made the move look better.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. Usually the logic behind that is to get more momentum, but yeah.
Yeah.
But when he did it, I was like, wait, what? When did he learn how to do that? And that was pretty flush. Holy shit.
Yeah, like you cheered when Kevin Owens did what looked like a code breaker.
Yeah, okay, Kevin Owens put out a code breaker on over. I'm like, wait, did he just do a code breaker? So yes, how do you feel about that, Jim? Kevin Owens stole your boy's move.
Which he stole from Carlito, but just changed where he did it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he stole it from Rumble Roses because I think they did it. But anyway,
Yeah.
But Jim is not answering.
he's that mad.
He's crying himself to sleep.
Come to the dark side.
Karen
Jim.
Lee.
Oh, he's wrestling basket because I hear creaking.
He's wrestling with shadows.
No, I'm right here. Jim.
No, we killed him.
I'm
I
here.
didn't even. Oh, there we go.
There you are. What do you think of Kevin Owens stealing your boy's move?
I think he did it sloppy as hell.
Nah.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was.
In other words, he's a heavy dude, so jumping is not his foray. So he got up just enough that he was able to pull the knees out and hit the move, but he only got like about a foot off the ground. So I was like,
See, I thought that move looked pretty cool when he did the code break. I thought he did it well. And to be fair with Kevin Owens, he does jump a lot. Like he does that fucking like moonsault and stuff.
But as he himself said, he doesn't run anywhere.
Yeah.
True.
I was like, ooh, would be humorous, but I'm not gonna laugh. You don't get the satisfaction.
But yeah, I really did like this match because it had good pacing. It had a little bit of innovation in it. You know, it had some new moves that you didn't see. And they pulled out fucking everything for this one. You know, they told a good story in the ring. You can see the frustrations in both their faces and stuff, and all this fun stuff. And I liked the ending. Just all in all, this was a great match.
Yeah, this was a pretty cool match.
All right.
all right then.
So then next up we have the tag match of New Day versus Primetime Players.
New tag champs.
Tag champs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tag champs.
I'll be honest. As much as I do like the primetime players, I was a little disappointed the New Day lost.
I called it.
Yes, you did. I had a feeling that primetime players was going to win. That still didn't make it any less disappointing.
No, I mean I called it, Rick. You know, at the beginning, when it was clear Xavier was giving in and not doing positive thinking, I was like, he's going to be the one that loses. He's going to lose, isn't he? Because it's going to be the audience cost the New Day because the New Day finally gave in instead of positive thinking.
Yeah. Then they gotta make Xavier leave and go solo, and
I pretty
Ruin
much
it.
thought that's what was going to happen too. You mentioned it first, but I think I was thinking at the same time you were. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing here.
Yeah, and I was like, that's kind of cool.
This match was okay.
I didn't think this match was terrible. I think it did a good job of doing what I needed to do of filling the gap.
Yeah, and it told the story, so it did its job in that. Furthered the story here of the New Day and whatnot. They didn't have Kofi because Kofi was still nursing his back injury.
Yep.
Oh, also maybe they lost it because they got Kofi powerbombed on him earlier.
There you go.
There is also that.
Jim?
I think
He's
he's
leaving.
tuning it out.
Yes.
How come you're tuning us out?
I'm not tuning you out. I apologize.
Right. We'll give your opinion.
Tag
Okay.
match.
I know what we were talking about. We were just making New Day jokes. But yeah, overall, not a terrible match. I was a little surprised the Primetime Players won. I thought the New Day was doing a good job as the heel tag champs, but I'm glad to give the Primetime Players a shot. I mean, they've been a tag team for a long time.
Yep. Like I said, we weren't
overall, the
making day matches. We were discussing the match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but overall, it was a decent back and forth match. They did a good job. I like how they opened it and Xavier Woods almost went negative, but then Biggie kept him positive. That was good. That was good. And yeah, they had a good back and forth match. I like how Biggie cost the titles by killing himself just to take out Darren Young. That was kind of funny. And yeah, overall, just a decent back and forth tag team match. Not much to say.
All right. So then we get to our main event, the WWE Championship ladder match, Ambrose versus Rollins.
Indeed.
Which I thought was actually a really good match. I didn't think it would be that great, but it surprised me. And
yes,
when did it start? Like, I swear that match was going to go on for like an hour. I was like, oh, they have to have 2 matches left.
Yeah, it was like a 40-minute match.
Yeah, it was long.
It was long.
Yeah. I'll admit, I like this match. I'd give this one if we had 2 matches of the night, but it had problems. I will admit it did have a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the biggest one, like I mentioned to Marcus, because that just always annoys me, is like when Seth Rollins hits Dean Ambrose, whoa, into the ropes, comes back, kick, whoa, into the ropes, hits him again, and then acts like he's now dead. It's like, really? But we clearly see you go, whoop, perfectly fine when you do the rope thing. What the fuck? That rope thing is fucking ridiculous.
I thought it was funny that he kept countering it. Like, he tried the ones he's like, pow, ladder in the face. I was like, yeah, I'm surprised no one has. I haven't seen anyone counter it beforehand.
Yeah. And the thing Marcus mentioned to you earlier during the recording that I had mentioned to him during it as a joke, Rick, was when they were fighting in the crowd, and they were all the way in the crowd and stuff, I thought it'd be fucking hilarious if Sheamus ran out, quickly cashed in Money in the Bank, set up a ladder, and ran up before they could get in the ring.
I was expecting that too. I was saying to myself,
I think that would have been
funny.
Sheamus. Not a Sheamus fan, but I would have thought that was funny. It would have been at least unique. And you know what? I give unique to cash-ins.
Yeah, it's like one of the other ideas I'd come up with during that is what if Sheamus had come out to work with the Authority?
Yeah.
Not in the way you said, Jim.
Oh.
I mentioned to Marcus of what if he came out, cost Dean Ambrose, helped Seth Rollins, and the idea is Sheamus has joined the Authority, so this time round you got a Money in the Bank person who's never going to cash in and refuses to cash in to help the champion. Because we've never seen that either. Some people might argue that'd be a waste, but they always say, oh, is it going to run out? Or, oh, it's up to the person whether or not they cash in. I think it'd be cool just once to see someone refuse to cash in. Like, nope.
It'd be interesting to see what they do. And, like, whether or not I think that would be a good idea, I would definitely not mind them doing something like that once, just to do something different, just like, oh, are they going to do, and then that happens, they just never cash in, and you're like, that was weird. Like, you wouldn't expect that, and I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. It's like, how awesome would it have been as well at a certain point if the lights had gone out and then they come back on and Kane was there to help out? Then, oh my God, Dean Ambrose has the briefcase. He has the briefcase, and Kane gets the microphone and just laughs. And Dean Ambrose is like, what? Opens up the briefcase, no contract, and you see Kane just hand the contract to Seth Rollins. He just, oh, the belt to Seth Rollins, like boom. Like with the Money in the Bank, I thought that'd be cool with that. Of like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, one time someone picks it up, but someone's already emptied out the briefcase, so they just won with an empty briefcase, and now the contract someone else's. I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
I thought it would have been funny if like Bray Wyatt showed up again. Like, what the? And he's like, hi. Has the belt with his butcher apron.
So I was just part of a couple days ago. The website K-Fob News, who likes to do hilarious fake wrestling articles. One of an article about how and because it didn't make sense for them to lug this giant briefcase around for one piece of paper, the Money in the Bank briefcase was being changed over to the Money in the Bank USB flash drive. Which you could take it would have a PDF of the contract. It's much easier to carry, you know, and go through all this shit. And we get rid of that. And we get rid of that problem of people hitting each other with a briefcase.
I've seen people make that joke. Like I'd seen people make the joke of it should be replaced with an iPad or like a new phone that WWE could be sponsored by.
There you go.
See, I would say no to the iPad. Phone, maybe. Because the iPad is so expensive. Would you really want to see someone fuck up and drop an $800 iPad to the ground and shatter it?
Yes. Because I don't like Apple.
Yeah.
I love how you both said it at the same time.
I say yes just because it's going to be given to them. Like, I'm sorry, the commentators even basically use iPads and stuff.
Yeah.
So, why not? I mean, did you cringe every time they smashed someone in the face with a camera? I mean, those aren't exactly fucking like $5 cameras.
True.
Okay, you know what I want them to do actually, because they wouldn't do this, but it'd be funny. Okay, and I hate when they actually do this. I want it to be an iPad, and then they have a match where somebody wrestles them for it, and the other person wins. And then they come out the next night like, oh, I got the money on the pad. I got the money on the pad. And the person comes out and is like, oh, you didn't read Apple's terms of service. You can't transfer that stuff. And then they don't actually win, and they have to give it back because you can't transfer it. And I would just laugh and be like, haha, yeah, Apple sucks. And that's funny.
Yeah.
Some dude got screwed because of legal stuff.
Yep.
David Otunga come out and he's like, I'm sorry, dude, you got to give it back to him.
Yeah, stuff like that's always funny. It's like, I mentioned to, I think it was Crispy a while back, I kind of want someone in WWE, like the authority, to be like, okay, we've got our guy in the matchup, so our guy's going to win. Since they're the ones that put the briefcase up there, why not put that thing in the briefcase that if it's opened by the wrong people, sends off the inkjet and ruins the contract on the person?
Like,
Like
somebody
the
did
DXL
that.
green paint. And it'd be fucking hilarious. Like, no, you can't cash in. Now the contract's destroyed. It'd be like, no.
Didn't Ambrose do that to Rollins at one point? Like he booby-trapped the case
Yeah, I think he booby-trapped
during their first rivalry.
Somebody in
I
the
did-
briefcase,
Yeah, I just think that'd be amazing if they do that. And it's like, sorry, that was a security measure because only our person could win. Sorry about that. And it's like, no, on my contract. What have you done? There's still loads of things they can do with it. I still like my idea of cashing in on brand or titles besides the WWE one, including like COO. That's still amazing.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Like Jericho can cash in on a Muppet to see if he can actually own the name Fozzy.
There you go.
But yeah, like I said, this main match was actually pretty good, and the whole time there was that thought in your mind of, "Ooh, someone's going to cash in." I'm kind of glad they didn't because that was always on your mind for it. So that makes it sort of like, oh, you've always got that suspense kind of, will they? No.
No, they won't.
And that's kind of cool.
I would have been sad if he did, because it'd be like, oh man, oh wait, now there's no Money in the Bank to look forward to. Like, he wins it in the first day, it's gone. It'd be like giving $1 million to a gambler, you know? It's just like, oh well, okay.
I'm also curious, is Sheamus going to go face?
No.
Because at a certain point, he has to tease he's going to cash in on Seth Rollins. And since Seth Rollins is a massive heel, I could imagine the crowd might start to cheer Sheamus for it.
No, dwarfs are neutral, so I think it'll work.
That could also work at keeping him neutral and doing it.
Yeah. Because I could see even if it, like, I don't think well, I mean, eventually, yeah, he'll probably go face, but I'm not sure if it'd be from this. Because it seems like they, I don't think he's going to be Big Show levels of just turning face and heel that quickly, but who knows. But I could see that he would still tease it just in a jerky way, so it still wouldn't be a face, even though he'd be going against the heel.
Yeah, that could also work. And I just thought then, Rick, of what WWE could do, but probably won't.
That is a very long list. Please elaborate.
Coming after Battleground is WWE SummerSlam. The return of Brock Lesnar. My client Brock Lesnar wants his rematch with Seth Rollins, where no Money in the Bank will be a factor. During the matchup, Sheamus cashes in and makes it a triple threat. Just because I think that'd be kind of cool, so Brock now fucking hates that briefcase. Like, imagine, like, next year's Money in the Bank match, if Brock just comes out, destroys everyone, it's like, no, fuck you all.
That would be hilarious, like, going forward, that, like, whoever... So, like, because I think they wouldn't do this, but, you could play up the like, kind of roundabout, however you want to put it, of, like, the person with the Money in the Bank, it keeps eyeing, the champion, and the champion has to look over his shoulder for that. But now the person that's supposed to be the Predator has to keep looking over their shoulder for Brock Lesnar. It'd be kind of interesting. So, like, they'd be in the same position. One can get the title whenever he wants if he picks a good opportunity, and the one has the belt and has to watch out for that guy. But the guy that can do it has to watch out for somebody that's even scarier.
Yeah, and I think that would be great. And it'd also set up Sheamus v Brock, which I don't think many people want to see, but it's a matchup I wouldn't mind seeing, because I don't think I want to see if a bro kick will keep the beast down.
I'd be really sad if it did.
I could see one of two things happening.
Or if it did.
If it did. I'd be like, all the stuff that didn't keep him down and the bro kick keeps him down. I'd be like, really? So that's stronger than the Undertaker's streak? Okay.
Yeah, I just mean like we mentioned with the RKO. If when he hits the RKO on Brock, if Brock stays down enough, like when Seth Rollins did the curb stomp, you're like, holy fuck, that seems legitimate right now. If he did the bro kick to Brock, it would be that one moment of holy fuck, especially with Paul Heyman on the outside looking like, the fuck did you just do to my beast?
Yeah, Paul Heyman's face would be like, oh.
I can see one of two things happening if you want to keep Sheamus heel. I could see either Ambrose contesting the ending of the ladder match and getting a rematch or whatever, and eventually winning the title, and then Sheamus goes after him. Or I could see after Reigns lays waste to Bray Wyatt in Battleground, having Reigns versus Sheamus at SummerSlam for the Money in the Bank contract, because outside interference, even though technically that's allowed because ladder match, but I could totally see that happening, and then Reigns winning the Money in the Bank contract off of Sheamus in like a one-on-one match of some sort.
Yeah, like I said, I was glad Reigns didn't win, because I want him to win the Rumble, and I think they'll keep it. They might be able to build him up enough that people will want that this time.
As long as they don't do the stupid mistake they pulled last time and bring Daniel Bryan back.
They might bring him back.
Yeah, in which case it's going to epically fail, and they're going to completely fuck it up like they did last time.
Possibly, but we don't know. It could happen. I mean, if Reigns has been there the whole time, that could be cool. But yeah, like I said, the Brock thing I think would be interesting. Sheamus cashing in on Brock again, just so Brock's been cashed in twice. I don't know why. I just like the idea of Brock now fucking hating that briefcase. Like I said, like Money in the Bank pay-per-view next time, like when Bray interfered, Brock does 6 or 7 fucking F5s. He's just like, no, I'm done with that contract. I hate that contract. I hate it. I just like the idea of Brock just hating a briefcase.
That's his nemesis.
Yeah.
I fear no man. I fear that stupid piece of metal.
Yeah. And like I said, Sheamus cashing in on Brock would just be amazing too, because I don't know why, but Sheamus is a different type of heel to Rollins. And I feel like that would be amazing. Like, I could see Sheamus cashing in and making it a triple threat, but just because even when he was a face, Sheamus was always a bully. While Brock's unconscious on the outside, I could easily see bro kick to Seth Rollins. 1, 2, 3. and just pissing Brock off, if that makes sense. I like the idea of pissed off Brock with a briefcase. When it gets lowered to the ring, will we have a stare down between the two as Brock points at the WrestleMania sign?
Yes.
I don't know why the WrestleMania sign will be there.
I have a question though. So when he's going to have a match against the briefcase, will there be a contract signing? And is that cannibalism?
Yeah. There will be, but just to make it fair, Brock has to write on Paul Heyman.
Okay.
Yeah. Victor's like, yeah, okay. I like that.
I am Paul Heyman, and I am the writing pad.
That would just be amazing.
It would be.
Like, oh my god, a wrestler, like if they kept it going with Brock, the amount of cash-ins on Brock would just be hilarious. Like, I found it hilarious where there was like 2 or 3 cash-ins on the run every year on Edge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, that was kind of funny, where for the longest time, Edge was involved in every Money in the Bank cash-in for like the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Either he did the damage that made the person cash in, he cashed in himself first, or people cashed in on him, you know what I mean? It's like, that was kind of cool, where Edge was basically, whenever I think Money in the Bank briefcase, I think Edge. They did a good job with that, I think. Like,
Yeah.
it cemented it as him. Like, when I think Hell in a Cell, I think Taker.
Mm-hmm.
When I
fair
think
enough.
3 Stages of Hell, I think Kurt Angle. I liked his match with Benoit. That was awesome.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Sure.
so I guess that's it. That's all the matches.
Yep.
Any thoughts overall?
I thought this pay-per-view kind of sucked. It had some good matches, but I didn't like this pay-per-view. Like you said, not worth $50.
I like this pay-per-view. I liked it more than Elimination Chamber.
See, I like Elimination Chamber more personally.
I don't think Battleground will be good because that, like I've mentioned, that's always filler to me.
Yeah.
It's the filler pay-per-view between now and SummerSlam.
At least it's 5 weeks away.
True, which means I believe there's going to be another special in between.
Well, isn't that the when they're in Japan? I think.
Yep.
That one I'm looking forward to. I don't care about Battleground, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't think Battleground will be that good, but I thought this one was pretty good. It gave us some surprise victories and stuff, and some surprise moments, and I'm like, this overall was a pretty solid pay-per-view.
okay.
Fair enough.
It was a solid pay-per-view. I think Elimination Chamber was better, but this is pretty solid. I really like the Cena Owens match. That was a great match. I think that's the one that really put this particular pay-per-view over the top in terms of quality.
All right. Yeah, I thought it was okay. Didn't really like it that much. I did prefer Elimination Chamber because, as Marcus was saying, like the Money in the Bank match was okay. Like it was okay. I think it was probably the second best one on there, but it didn't feel as much of as spectacular as the previous ones have been. So there you have it. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us to talk about the Money in the Bank.
You're welcome.
Yep, and I will just quickly interject.
Mhm.
One thing they did mention on the pay-per-view, which I'm kind of think everyone should check out, is they are doing a tribute to Dusty Rhodes right after Raw.
Yes, check that out. It's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mole, did you want to quickly also talk about that that WWE shop ad, which you're like, that's the stupidest thing ever.
Oh, yeah, they had a WWE shop advert, Rick. If I'm not sure if that was when you were at the computer, I can't remember when it was, but that was weird. It zooms in on every wrestler's T-shirt. Cool. When it did Brock, he had no top on. It just went zoom to like a Brock's skin. I'm like, what? You couldn't just put him in his Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat gimmick costume, or maybe show the Suplex City T-shirt or something. You're gonna do this? What? It's like, yeah, check out all this cool merchandise available. And Brock has stuff that you'll only see if you go there. We don't want to give away spoilers.
Maybe they're gonna sell a T-shirt that's like him. It like has fake abs on it and that sword tattoo and stuff.
That is a
Nope.
badass tattoo.
His new tattoo or his new T-shirt will be the money in the bank, and in the back you'll just see the beast in like a bush with eyes watching. I think that'd be awesome. But
That would be,
I like his
that would be awesome.
City one with like F5 and stuff on it.
Suplex City.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's no Slam City, but
No.
That's
When is
season
Season 2 of Slam City coming out? We need to know who the finisher was.
I don't think they're doing a season 2.
Oh,
It's
that's
Suplex City. That's season 2.
Yeah,
Ah.
I believe season 2 is only like if you counted the continuation stuff from the comics. I believe the idea was to never reveal the finisher to sell the toys, because what if a kid's got hold of the finisher toy and is like, yeah, I really like the finisher, and then it's revealed to be, I know, Vince McMahon, like some people thought it might be, and it's like, but I don't like Vince. It's now ruined their figure.
Mm-mm.
Fair enough, that's true.
To some people, at least, if that makes sense. Like to some kids.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would love it if you say that to the kid and he's like, "Nope, that's not my canon." I'd just high five him. Be like, "Nope, I don't care. Screw it. It's whoever I say it is." I'd be like, "High five, dude."
Yeah.
It'd be like, I have taught you well, my son. Your father is proud.
All right, so
Alright.
join us next week, which I believe was our final Saturday. I'm also bad with dates. All
Oh,
right.
well, let's see. According to the calendar here, assuming
So we're
July,
going to keep it that way then?
I thought July was when we were moving it to all Sundays.
It was.
in that case, yes, next week will be our finals. And no, actually, one more, because next week will be Saturday the 20th, and then Saturday the 27th will be our final Saturday.
Okay.
And next week, more than likely, I will not be here because Father's Day.
That's a Sunday.
He's
Yes.
a day, but on the Chinese
Yeah,
calendar, it's Saturday.
Yeah, it's a different day. And in all fairness, Marcus, you can't use an excuse when the father, the guy with dad in his name, is going to be here.
Yeah, like James Father Phoenix.
Oh,
wait. No, sorry, you meant Rick, my bad.
He's the son of a preacher man.
Oh,
Gonna bring
lot
that
of time.
back.
Jim is a failed clone of Tom Selleck. Fact.
I'll buy that.
The star killer of Tom Selleck.
James Phoenix is Shia LaBeouf with stash.
Do it! Just do it! I wanted to use Phoenix motivational speech.
There you go.
All right, so anyway, thank you all for joining us. Join us next
You're
Saturday
welcome.
for one
Pleasure,
of
Hammy.
thank you. And hope to see you next Saturday. Thank you very much for joining us, and good night.
Bye, everybody.
Woo!